And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we have a whole lot more drama happening with the Speaker of the House vote. First, Steve Scalise dropped out. Then Jim Jordan is pretty much throwing his hands up. He keeps losing votes. And now we have Byron Donalds throwing his name in the hat. Will that go anywhere? Will he become the next speaker? We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, the LGBTQ LMNOP XYZ teachers out here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I live, who got caught doing a little bit too much at their homes. And these people should have never been in the school system anyway. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Victoria's Secret went woke and kind of went broke. Not totally, but enough for them to change direction and go back the other way. No more of these MMA fighter built looking women. No more of the Transformers. No more of the land whales. We're going back to their bread and butter. The 5'11", 6 foot tall, 100-pound woman. We're going right back to that. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, President Oprah, how would that work? In 2020, she wanted to be the president. Canadians, are you okay? We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. You're also listening to a podcast. This will be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And if you happen to be over there right now, please give me a 5-star rating or review, whatever you can, to help the podcast grow on audio streaming platforms. And if you're right here watching me live on the YouTubes, again, please give that video a thumbs up. That'll help me out a whole lot. Now, we got a lot to get into. There's quite a few videos I've not covered. There's quite a few topics we got to go over. There is a lot of ground to cover tonight. But first things first, I know how I do. Shout out to the sponsor. Shout out to me, my website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Check it on out. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and you'll be able to see articles for each video that I produce. So if you're ever wondering, hey, ABL, where's the full video? Where's the uncensored version? Can we get the version of it without you talking on it? Can we get the links? Can you get a source? Everything will be right there on the website for 100% free, AnthonyBLogan.com. Also, go to the contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. To find my email address, my email address, my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I'm not going to call it X. All those platforms will be right there on the contact page. And if you're ever wondering if you're speaking to me or not, that's the best place to go to cross-reference. If the email that you are speaking with or the phone number you are texting for some reason is not on my website, it's not me. So you guys don't do it. As I always say, and I'm going to show you something right quick. I always talk about this. This was funny. This story, I didn't even really cover it, but this story was hilarious. I always tell you guys, if you are speaking to somebody who replies to one of the comments you leave under one of my videos, and they say they're me, they have my face, they may have a similar name, and they're talking about, hey, contact me on WhatsApp, contact me on this random 18-digit telephone number to text me, talking about if you send them $475,000, you would get $15 back. Ridiculous stuff, right? I told you guys to look out for that. And I told you it'd be one of two people. It'd be some Nigerian guy in Lagos, in the Abuja, somewhere robbing you blind, or it'd be a 3,800 pound Lithuanian laying on his bed. Now, we look at this right here. Look at this story. And I did not make this up. I promise. I did not make this up. Look at this. I'm going to zoom in. Lithuanian man arrested for faking heart attack 20 times to avoid paying bill at restaurants. Man, look, the Lithuanian scammer is right in front of your face, okay? If you talk to somebody on my channel and they're talking about, hey, contact me on WhatsApp, I got a deal you can't refuse, Forex and Bitcoin, it's going to be that guy talking at you, okay? It's going to be that guy right there laying on the ground. Didn't I say it? This dude about bloated as bloated can be. It's going to be him talking at you. It's not going to be ABL. Now, I know he got the bald head thing going on and a clean shave. He might have looked like me a few months ago, aside from being a white guy in Lithuania, but I promise that is not me, okay? And I would never fake a heart attack to not pay the bill, okay? I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is have a dog and let it loose. I'm playing. But seriously, the moral of the story is don't get scammed by these people on the interwebs, whether they be from Nigeria, Lagos, some other kind of random place in the world. If you're ever wondering if you're speaking to me or not, just go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact, and all my information is right there. If the email says, I'm a Lithuanian scammer who fakes heart attacks at gmail.com, that's not me. If the email says, I'm a Nigerian scammer living on $3 a day in Lagos at hotmail.com, it's not me. All right. So I'm glad we got that cleared up. Let's get into quite a few topics. There's a lot to cover today. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Now, I don't even know where to start. There's so much going on. There's some crazy videos, some crazy things. I'm going to get everything loaded up. All right. Now, somebody says Nigeria, Lagos is the same place. Lagos is a city in Nigeria, ain't it? Lagos, Abuja. I know about Nigeria. So, yeah, shout out to the Nigerians, though. Shout out to everybody out there that's not scamming, just out there minding their business, living their life. Shout out to all you guys out there doing your thing. All right. Now, we're going to get into quite a bit of stuff here. Okay. I got a few videos for you guys to get your opinion. Some things that are just kind of socially related and some other stuff. There's a lot happening. There's a whole lot going on. And I got a few videos that I'm going to put out, I think, tomorrow. I got a video that I think I'm going to do a short because you guys like the shorts. I think that's going to be the channel driver from here on out. In my humble opinion, that's going to be the driver or the short videos. So I'm going to do a lot more of those. And I'm going to show you a video as a preview of the short I'm going to do. All right. So let me get that loaded up right quick. And then we're going to keep on rocking. And I got some serious ones too. Some very serious videos for you guys. All right. I think that's good right there. Okay. So let's start with this. This one, I'm going to do a short on. Now, you guys may hear about people in jail, right? People in prison and how harsh the conditions are. And, you know, these guys, they shouldn't be in there so long because it's so harsh and all this and that and the third. Man, these guys in prison live lives better than some guys on the street. Literally, I'm talking about if you're on the streets homeless and you just out there in a tent or living in a Toyota Camry or something like that, on the ground, cold or whatever, you don't live the kind of life they live in prison. And at a certain point, you're asking yourself, why do people keep going to the penitentiary? It's because they have fun. It's because it's cool. It's because they like it. Now, this is a video of what I'm talking about. Now, these guys, look at this. These guys are in prison. Listen to me. These guys are in prison playing Madden, NFL, playing the video game. Their flat screen TV is bigger than what I had probably about 10 years ago, I would say. Probably, I don't know how long ago that was. What's this, 2023? Maybe about 5 to 10 years ago, my flat screen was not even that big. These guys are in prison. Now, I don't know how you get a flat screen TV in the penitentiary inside your cell. And I don't know how you get it powered up and how you get a video game system in. Look, these guys got a PlayStation or Xbox and they're playing Madden in prison. Let's roll it. Do you see my man's feet? Did you see that? Watch this. Watch this. The joy. Watch right here in the center of the screen, the bottom center. My man with the white shoes. My man's feet are swinging, having a good old time in the penitentiary. Hey, it ain't big rocks, little rocks. Ain't no big rock, little rock action happening here. These guys are having a blast. Now, if I was the warden or something, if I had control over this, man, these guys would be in there. I'm talking about it'd be some medieval conditions. You'd be in there making friends with every rodent in that particular region of the world. If these guys are in Arizona, it's going to be scorpions and snakes and all kind of stuff in they cell as they pets. It ain't going to be no comfy conditions, Madden, none of that stuff. Prison should be punitive. If you were proven to have committed a crime enough to go to prison, not just jail, I ain't talking about a traffic violation. I ain't talking about you might owe child support. I'm talking about you beat an old lady up, you robbed somebody, kidnapped somebody, deleted somebody. Oh no, ain't gonna be no Madden. You gonna be in there literally making big rocks into little rocks. I promise. Man was all too far, man. Too far, man. Too far, man. Too far, man. My man having a good old time, swinging the feet and everything. So that's prison for you right there. And you're wondering, hey, shout out to you, Duke Raul. Exactly. But hey, look, I wonder if you guys understand why guys keep going to prison. It's because they have fun. It's like a family reunion and you get to play the video game and everything else. It's just like, going over your friend's house. It's no big deal. If you do 2 or 3 years and you get short sentences. So check it out. If you are committing crimes in some of these soft cities, they know if they get caught, they might not do 2 or 3 years. Ain't no big deal. It's whatever. Because what are you really doing on the street? You're not really doing anything except for committing crime and trying to go to some girl's house to spend the night. So if you get locked up, you get to go play Madden. It'd be guards in there giving you contraband. It'd be guards in there going back to your cell with you. Oh yeah, that happens. Female guards. People talking about, these guys are getting assaulted by other guys. Not really. It's not like it was back in the day, because now you got a lot of guys that are voluntarily LGBT. That's really big. So there's no need to assault somebody and make them be a certain way when you got guys that are voluntarily getting into relationships with other guys. And the second thing is you got female guards that are getting down with the action. I played the particular video of the female guard in Atlanta that was fornicating with the guy right there in the penitentiary and allowed herself to be videotaped on the cell phone in the actual penitentiary, not even on the streets. I'm talking about in jail with a uniform on and all that. So the days of these guys getting assaulted, I mean, that does happen, but not to the way it used to be back in the day, because you got so much access to voluntary participants. What's the point of attacking somebody and making them do something when you got people that do it voluntarily? You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Is somebody getting triggered in the chat? I didn't even see it. Everybody's a beta to that person right there. Wow. Okay. I never understood the purpose of going to somebody's stream and hating on them. It's like, if you don't like the stream, why are you here? It's so weird. People will hate on the stream for the entire stream. like 3 hours. It's like, well, you've been here that long. You might as well just participate. You might as well just make yourself at home. It's like going to a party and standing in the corner for 4 hours. Just go to the dance floor and have a good time. Why are you here the whole time hating the process? Okay, you can easily leave or join in. Don't be a hater, be a participator. Anyway, let's keep on going. It's very weird as for exactly. Now, let's check this out. Now, this particular incident, I don't think anyone got hurt. From the video that I'm watching, I didn't see anybody actually get injured or run over. But this guy was road raging in Portland. This is from June of this year, 2023. Now, the guy, I'm going to read this here. It says, the dude pleaded not guilty to all charges, had been a convicted ex-offender, of course. Now, he was basically, the best word to say would be bulldozing his way through the Grand Floral Parade route in Portland back in June of this year. Now, for some reason, this guy decided to do this while he has not one, not two, but 3 different angles of his vehicle. He has a dash cam pointing forward, pointing backward, and an interior camera on himself. So you're getting 3 angles of him doing this. I have no idea why he would do that, knowing that he's on camera, literally filming himself. But let's keep on rocking. Let's watch this. It's a tad bit of profanity, obviously, because this guy, unhinged, is saying it politely. Let's watch this.
They got it all blocked off. The Lloyd Center exit, the Convention Center exit, every motherfucking exit. You
Now look, road rage, I don't really deal with too much. People get crazy on the road. Okay. The way I drive, I'm not trying to get into any kind of conflict. If I see that somebody's driving erratically and they want to speed and try to get around, I let them have it. Like, man, you got it, boss. Don't even worry about it. My fault. I'm sorry. I'm impeding your process. Okay. You and your street missile, your little Nissan Altima or whatever kind of car you driving. Okay. Your hunk of junk on the road that is one wrong turn, one bald tire away from flipping over and catching on fire. You got it. I'm going to get out your way. I ain't trying to speed up or nothing. Go ahead. Because people like this, when they are in that state of mind, they are liable to do whatever. They're liable to hurt themselves to hurt you. So I don't want no problems, man. I'm trying to go from point A to point B. Okay. I'm trying to go to that house. I'm trying to go over yonder. I don't want your problems. Now let's see what he does with the parade. Now, you saw him go around barriers and everything else. Now, what song is that he's playing? That sounds like Yellow Wolf. I could be wrong. You guys, please correct me if you know about that particular song he's playing. And hopefully you too. Come on, don't give me no copyright on that, because it doesn't even really count. You can barely make out what the song is. Don't give me no copyright on that. Now, you hear him screaming because he's driving toward a crowd. The road was blocked off because there's a parade happening. The Rose Parade, something like that. And people are screaming, but I don't think he actually hit anybody. Thank goodness. Yeah, so that's your man right there going through a parade route. I mean, unhinged. Look, man, it can't be that serious. I'm sure there's a detour you can go through to plow through the actual parade and then record yourself. I mean, you are a few trees short of a forest. A few trees most certainly short of the forest. Somebody should have called the cops. I think the police are right there. Matter of fact, I think, let me see if I can pinpoint the exact moment where the police were right on them. See, in the bottom right here, there's an officer right there. So the police are right there because there's vehicles blocking this off. Okay, you got like regular work trucks blocking the route off. And then you got, of course, police are going to be there for the parade to make sure there's security. So, yeah, the police are already right there. They saw what he was doing. So shout out to that guy. I mean, hey, man, he got charged and he pleaded not guilty, but he probably will go to the penitentiary if they do that in Portland anymore. I know how Portland is. You got to pretty much try to assassinate the mayor or something crazy like that to get any kind of jail time. You do something like this, you might get community service at best because they believe in the whole a soft on crime situation. But yeah, that's what's going on. Now the music, did we figure that out? Was it Yellow Wolf? Till It's Gone? Was that the name of it? Let me just make sure, because that's going to bother me if I don't figure it out. I'm correct. All right. I'm still hip, as a cool kid say. I still know my music a little bit. So shout out Yellow Wolf. That is a crazy soundtrack to run through a parade. That's like kind of a chill, mellow song. Why would you have that going on while you're trying to plow through a parade? But whatever. Now, this particular person, I've seen him quite a bit on the internet. This is a Roblox streamer with a disgusting room. Now, I don't think it's like bad to where if you kind of squeamish, you're going to get offended. I don't think it's that bad, but it's bad. Now, if your room looks like this, you got to tighten up, do better, please. Please do better. And let's just watch some of this.
I hired maids to come clean my room.
Now look, okay, I'm a streamer as well, but you would never see my home look like this. Never, ever. If I could pull up my camera right now and show you around my room up here, it's spotless. I don't have anything on the ground. Listen, if you come to my house and let's say you got a purse, right? Do not put the purse on the floor. I got tables and countertops, and don't put stuff on the ground in my house. That's a hard and fast rule. You want to take your shoes off? Okay, I got the front entrance. Take your shoes off right there. Don't have stuff strewn about in my house. I don't play no games. I don't leave dishes unwashed. I wash dishes as soon as I use them. I don't play around like that. I am a neat freak. So this right here was pretty gross. I'm a streamer that does not live like a pig.
As a Roblox streamer, my room gets really messy sometimes. So I decided to finally...
I mean, come on, man. Do you ever leave your room? Do you ever you got things called trash cans. You got things called trash cans. You got things called mops and brooms and dustpans and your hands and feet.
Hire some maids. This is before the cleaning. They even brought their own vacuum. That'll be helpful. They're already hard at work. She's doing a great job of cleaning my room.
Now, he had some lady come in there to clean up the room. She did a pretty good job, but really he needed one of those teams. You ever see that show called Hoarders? He needed one of them people to come in there and get that tightened up because it's crazy. And that carpet ain't no more good. That carpet got to go. That carpet is a mess. Regardless of the cleaning, it ain't going to get them that. Just remove the carpet. It's probably some builder's grade carpet. Get that out the way.
They did make me pay extra because they said it was very messy. However, I'm finally getting rid of this chair. So if you're driving by my house and you see this on the street, go ahead and pick
that chair was beat up too.
Pick it up. It's all yours. My bathroom's all clean now. Look at this. They even got rid of that little orange circle in my toilet.
Orange circle.
I kind of want it back though. I might purposely
orange circle.
Create one again. Who knows?
Disgusting.
We'll see. Anyway, here comes the moment of truth. Are you ready to see my room clean? And voila! Look at this. It's like walking into a brand new house. It doesn't even feel like my room anymore. It feels like I'm living in a fever dream where I never existed. Look, they even put a trash bag in.
Yay, a trash bag. Imagine that. You know, a trash can and trash bags. Imagine that. I mean, he was the kind of guy that just put his garbage on the floor. Like, what's a trash bag? What's that? I don't know.
I don't use trash bags, but Who knows? Maybe I will now. I guess you gotta wait and find out. Now, this looks pretty good so far, so stay tuned.
Yeah, so shout out to the streamers that do not live like pigs. If you live like this, or your kids live like this, call the police, man. Don't nobody got time for that. I'll be like, look, man, we got a mess nuisance. We have a pollutant nuisance in the neighborhood. I'm calling the HOA. Be like, look, man. Matter of fact, you live in an apartment and you living like that. I'm calling the office. Yo, go inspect 4E. This guy is living disgustingly. Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, do not do that. Yeah, he couldn't do it himself. It's crazy. He had one lady in there to get it cleaned up. She did pretty well, but again, that carpet, just go ahead and tear it up. Go ahead and tear it up because, I mean, it can't cost that much to replace. Go to Home Depot, Lowe's, and they'll install it for free at a certain point. Once you buy a certain amount of carpet, they'll put it in for free. So go ahead and do that. Now, speaking about food and stuff, check this out. This is not a nasty video. This is a video that some think is a skit, but it's about DoorDash. Now, I'm going to give my opinion about DoorDash in a minute, but this went kind of viral a little bit on the internet because there was a discussion. Should there be a tip? Should there not be a tip? Tipping culture. What's going on with this kind of thing in society? So let's go ahead and check this out.
You can see how much work it was and why I should be getting a tip because of how much work this was.
No, you don't deserve
Yes,
a tip. You
I do.
certainly don't.
Why do I not?
You're
When
crushing
this
the
was-
ramen noodles for
I'm
one.
not
With
crushing
the
anything.
yes,
The
you
ramen
are.
noodles are perfectly fine.
No,
I don't know
they're
what
not.
you're talking
No,
about.
they're not.
They're
I
perfectly
just saw
fine.
you crush them for
They're
one.
not crushed. And why does it matter anyways? I'm
You're
taking
not
it back
good
to
at
the
your
store. They're
job,
not for
so
you
why would you
anymore.
get a tip?
They're not for you anymore. I just told you why I should get a tip.
They-
I had to pack all of this in my car and
I
bring it
paid
to you
for
guys
them.
and unpack it.
Now, this I think is fake. I mean, because the acting is not very good. You know, a lot of these skits, they rely on improv acting, and you could tell because they're trying to hit certain talking points, but in the process, it's kind of unnatural. They're kind of stumbling over words and things of this nature. Like they want to do a retake, but they can't because it's improv and they don't got all day and probably ain't nobody getting paid for the skit. But this does happen in real life, this kind of scenario, although this particular scenario is kind of fake.
You did not pay me. You paid the
I paid
delivery
for this
app.
food, okay?
You paid the delivery app. You
cannot
did not
touch
pay
the food
me.
to give
Do you
me
not
the
understand
stuff.
that? No,
Give me
I'm
my
taking
stuff.
all of this back.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No,
you guys can get your
you're
refund, and
not.
another delivery driver can deal with you guys. I'm not going to deal with
No,
it anymore.
you're stealing.
No, I'm not
You
stealing
are
it. I'm
stealing
taking it
for
back.
paying
How do we
to
know
the
you're going
store.
to take
I'm
it back
taking
to the
back
store?
store.
How do we know you're going to take it back to the store, though?
You'll get a receipt. Trust me.
No,
You'll get your
I
receipt.
won't,
Yeah,
okay?
you will. I'm gonna
I
go
just
take
wanna
it back
get-
to the
You
store.
I just don't.
I don't
You can
need
get
it. I
fired
don't
over
need all
that.
this
You're
stuff,
gonna get
so I don't
fired.
have a reason to have it.
This
So I'm
is
gonna take it back to the store.
$400
I don't
that
care
you're
how much it
stealing.
was.
You're stealing.
I'm not
over
stealing it. I'm taking.
Now, okay, I'm not gonna play the entire video because it's kind of long and they're kind of being repetitive. I'm not sure if they had a certain length of time to reach before they got to the end of their actual skit, but check it out. What do you guys think? Do you think there should be a tip for these delivery drivers, DoorDash, Uber Eats, etc.? Now, I'm gonna tell you about me personally. Now, and again, the lady, although it's probably a skit, she said that the total bill was like $400 for all them groceries, and the lady didn't get a tip, and that's why she wants to take the food back to the store because there was no tip. Now, the thing is, if you are doing that kind of work, tips are optional. So if you don't get a tip, hey, it happens. If you do get a tip, great. Now, when I go to a restaurant, a sit-down restaurant, and I order food, I tip very well all the time. I used to work in the restaurant for a long time, 5 years, Old Country Buffet, and the girls that worked in the front would get tips. And sometimes they'd give me tips for helping them with the tables, busting the tables or whatever. So I understand the importance of tipping in a service-based industry like a restaurant. But if I'm paying you to go do something and you do it, should you get a tip? I don't really know. Now, personally, I don't use these kind of delivery services. I don't use DoorDash. I don't use Grubhub or whatever. I don't even know really what they're called. I don't even have those apps on my phone. I think I used DoorDash one time years ago, like 2019 when I was in DC, because I was at one of those events for Turning Point, Blexit, Candace Owen. Shout out to Candace, Brandon. Shout out to Charlie Kirk. Great people. Love them. But I'm at the event and a lot of us are just sitting downstairs thinking about where we're going to eat. And one girl suggested we do DoorDash. I didn't know what that was. I'm like, what's that? And then she put me onto it. Nah, this is what happened. She was sitting there downstairs in the lobby eating. She had some IHOP. I'm like, where you get that? She said, oh, I did DoorDash. I'm like, what's DoorDash? So she put me onto the game and I did it, but I just didn't really see the purpose because the IHOP was not too far away. I was like, why would I order this? I could have just walked there, or I could have just, gotten the Uber. I don't know. For me personally, I prefer to go get my food and bring it back. That's me. I'm the kind of guy who would order a pizza online and go pick it up and bring it back. I'm not even going to have pizza delivered. So I'm not going to have anybody do my grocery shopping. I'm not going to have food delivered. If I want to order something, I'm going to go get it. It doesn't really matter what it is. The only time I have something ordered is if I can't get it from the store. Amazon purchases, clothing, things of this nature. Okay, I want a pair of pants and I went to the store and it didn't have my size. I'll go to their website and buy it there. But I want to go to the store first. I don't want to go straight to online first. Some things are only available online. But my point is going to the grocery store and here's something else. I don't want to have randos with my address. Okay? I don't want to have randos pulling up to my house in a Toyota Prius, pulling up to my house in a Nissan Altima, the street missile with my address. I don't really want that. Y'all know I had a doxing incident that happened years ago where they raided my stream. What do they call it when they I got swatted. Remember that? You guys been here for a long. I got swatted years ago. So my address is out there. Somebody got it, and then I got swatted. So I'm pretty weird about everybody knowing where I live. You can't really avoid the UPS, USPS. That's one thing. But randos with an app coming to my crib, I don't really know too much. I'll pass on that. So for all those reasons, I pass. Now, here is my question to y'all. Do you believe in these apps? Do you use these apps, the DoorDash and things of this nature? And do you think that there should be a mandatory tip? Like they just add gratuity into the price, or should it not be? You pay for the service and it's done. If you want to tip, then put it on top. I'll give you my opinion about it. Now, if it's me, I always tip. But the way the game works is sometimes you don't get tipped. Back to Old Country Buffet. Sometimes the girls will have a table that is stiff them. Sometimes they have a really good table. At the end of the night, it pretty much all worked out. But of course, they're going to complain about the tables that stiffed them. But they'll be working there for 10, 15 years. When I was at Old Country Buffet, it was ladies that had been in there for like 10, 15 years, literally. Older ladies that had been there for the entire time. So obviously, they're making some money. But of course, you're going to be upset at the tables that stiff you. So you end up doing very well. I wouldn't just take it out on these people, taking the stuff back. I wouldn't do all that. You might be upset, but do your job. On the next run, you might get a very good tip. You might be doing 10 to 20 jobs in a day. I'm not sure how many you have as a capacity. 3 of the jobs might stiff you. 10 of the jobs might be a standard rate. And then the rest of the jobs could be extraordinary, way more you ever got. So at the end of the day, you did very well. And that can be a consistent pattern throughout the time of you working for that particular app. And if you are not getting the money that you want, then go do something else. That's my particular viewpoint on it. And if you were to deliver food to me, but you're not, if you were to bring me food, but you're not gonna bring me food, I will give you a good tip. But I am not going to have you come to my house in your Ford Fiesta with no brakes and bald tires talking about, hey, is ABL home? No, I'm not home. Go that way. You need to go ahead and leave the premises. You're trespassing. I'm calling the federales ASAP. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'm reading some of the comments here. INSANO says, I always tip and say thank you. RW says a tip is a gift, but some get mad at your tip offering, so not worth it to me. I avoid them. At restaurants, I tip well as long as service is reasonable. I like that approach. Verse Pro says, I never tip for takeout food. I understand that, because if you just go into the spot and picking it up, then why are you tipping? Now, I'm going to tell you something, though. If I go to a takeout spot regularly, I'll tip, because I am very recognizable. People know who I am. I'm a tall dude. I look young, but I look old at the same time. I got a great beard. People know who I am at a certain point. If you see me every week for a month, you'll know who I am. So I want you to recognize my face with a tipper. So you know when the order comes in, oh, that's ABL, we got to do right. Versus, you know, when the order comes in and it's me, it won't be no tip. But that's just me. I don't think that should be a thing, but it is a thing. It is what it is, you know. But, and at a certain point, when that starts to happen, I start to go somewhere else, because I don't even really want that type of pressure on me, for real. Like, you guys know who I am. I'm going to go over there now. I'm going to go over that way. It was so bad at one point. I used to go to the Chinese spot all the time back in Virginia. Every week, I would, like, once a week I'd go there. And it got to the point where I would call them. As soon as I called them, they recognized my voice. They were like, yeah, you want, well, I used to get a General Tso chicken and 2 egg roll every Wednesday. That was my meal. And I would walk to go get it. I'm in pretty good shape now, but I was in great shape back then too, because I had 1 meal a day. I would walk probably about 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back to get it. So I was in pretty good shape. But when I would call them on the phone, they heard the sound of my voice. They already knew what it was. The lady would be like, yeah, you want. But anyway, I digress. The point is that if I'm familiar with you, if you know me, I want it to be, you get excited when I come around and you're going to do a good job on my meal. You ain't going to just throw something like, okay, if I get in takeout, don't put the food that is kind of old in my order. Give me a fresh batch. Give me a hot egg roll. Give me the new rice. Don't give me the old bottom of the barrel rice. And that usually works. And the tip might be $3 for real. All right. But let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We got a lot more to get into. Now, more videos, or am I going to get into something else? I think I'm going to show you guys this here. All right. Now, actually, I think I'm going to do something else. Let's go to Victoria's Secret. Let's do something a little bit like, now, Victoria's Secret is making the correct decisions because they, like other companies, decided to go woke, and they have gone not all the way broke, but they're losing money. I don't want to say broke because they still are very profitable, making a lot of money, but they're losing money. They lost 5% from last year in their gross profit. And then that was down from the year before. And then the year before that, like they're kind of declining. And the question is why? They still have a very strong brand, but the problem is people are like, hey man, we're not trying to see Lizzo in a swimsuit. We're not trying to see a man wearing women's clothing. We're not trying to see Megan Rapinoe looking like an MMA fighter, a cage fighter. We're not trying to see her. We're not trying to see all this weird stuff going on. We're trying to see, you know, we want to see the 5'11", 100-pound model. People could say, oh, that's unhealthy. Well, what's unhealthier? The 5'11", 100-pound model, or the 400-pound, 5-foot tall TikTok person talking about, yeah, I'm a Victoria's Secret angel. Which one is worse? You tell me. Now, I'm going to show you guys a video of a show. I'm going to turn the music off because we don't need that. But this is a runway show. And the models are all disabled. Now, before I even get into it, I'm not trying to make fun of disabled people. I think they're brave to get on stage. And I'm being serious when I'm not trying to be patronizing. They're brave to get on stage while disabled and show off the clothing. However, I don't want to see that. And I think that's the consensus of most people. And it's usually men. It's funny because somebody made a comment and it was pretty accurate. They said they forgot Victoria's Secret is a men's underwear company, not a women's clothing company, because men are going to be the ones a lot of times to buy this for their significant others. And also women are going to buy it for men. All right. So that is the actual problem. Nah, she didn't fall through the floor, but you're going to see what's happening. Let's check it out here. All right. So this is the runway show. Now, what's happening here is that you got that half off. I mean, okay, what you have here is a lady with no legs, and she's modeling the clothing. Now we got somebody in the wheelchair. Again, shout out to them for going out there. But, I mean, women and men want to see the idealized version of beauty. That's what we want. That's what made Victoria's Secret successful. Now, don't go back on what made you successful because you want to be woke and inclusive. Wokeness and inclusivity does not equal profits. And that's why they want to go the other direction. Yeah. Now we got somebody over here with prosthetic limbs. And we got, I'm not sure what's happening here. Is that a dwarf? I don't really know what's going on. In the wheelchair. Okay. And again, there's no sound because there's music. And then this person was in the wheelchair but didn't need it. So I'm kind of confused. One person has one arm. Another person, I'm not sure what her deformity is. I think one arm is littler. One arm is smaller than the other. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, so it's a lot of disabilities and whatnot on the stage. And it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? Are we Victoria's Secret or something else? This ain't really it. So that is a great comment. I like Salt says, if I wanted reality, I would look in the mirror. That was great. And I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. Okay. So shout out to I Like Salt. Now here is a more recent commercial that they are putting out there for the general public. Okay. RIP headphone users. Hopefully there's no music here.
I am confident.
Much better. There we go. An actual biological ex-woman looking like young, hip, fashionable. Much better.
I am casually elegant. I'm comfortable.
Much better. Look here. Look at here. What I want to see the young ladies modeling for Victoria's Secret that have not eaten a dime, that have not eaten a morsel of food in the past 48 hours before the shoot. Look, no food. Don't eat nothing. Just be hungry. Stomach growling being overshadowed by the camera flashes. That's what I want to see. Real talk.
In my own skin. Be authentic.
Much better. See, look, they got to go back this direction because the woke stuff, the Megan Rapinoe, the men, the big, you know, looking like they're about to go cook some borscht in the back. The Russian grandmas, it ain't gonna work for Victoria's Secret. Now, if you want to sell, if you want to sell protein shakes or something like that, okay, that's different. If you want to sell workout equipment, if you want to sell fitness classes, you want to sell things like that, okay, cool. Now go out and get the big bodybuilders. Go out and get the big, rock climbing looking young ladies. But beyond that, I'm not trying to see it. Now, let me show you some of the other pictures. Let me show you some of the more woke stuff. Megan Rapinoe, people like this. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Hey, don't nobody get offended. Hopefully ain't nobody offended because we're all family here. It's all good. Now, I made a mistake with one of my videos. Well, it wasn't a mistake. I just misjudged someone. And I think what's happening with all this stuff, with all this woke stuff, is starting to cause confusion. Okay, now I'm gonna show you what I mean because you guys had to correct me, and I just didn't know any better. And I said in the video that I apologize to the young lady. Now, here is the brand Victoria's Secret during the more woke days. You see the plus size young lady right there. Now, I thought that she was a man. That's Bella Hadid. I had no idea. I thought it was a man because I'm seeing kind of like, I think she might have had that buccal fat removal in her chin and her jaw. See, a lot of what's going on in the fashion industry is leading more toward the male look. I thought that was a man. I mean, I was totally wrong. Because I've seen some Transformers that look just like that. 100% like that. The gaunt kind of face, the body structure, all of that is male to me. But maybe I'm wrong. I got that all the way wrong. But I've seen some stuff. The Transformers look just like that. 100% just like that. Now, the ones that you may see that are on Twitter acting the fool, they look like Peter Pan and whatnot in the face. They don't look very convincing. They look like Jack Sparrow in the face. They don't look very convincing. But the ones that I've seen, Atlanta, like walking around Midtown, they be like 6'4", looking just like that. But you know, the dead giveaway is the hands a lot of times. Okay. You'll see these guys walking around, these big Mario and Luigi, basketball player, plumber, maintenance man, iron worker, welder, underwater welder hands. Okay. You'll see that going on. The voice is going to be a little grovelly. It might be a slight 5 o'clock shadow. It's kind of late in the day. They've been out for a while, hanging out, and it might be a little bit of beard action going on. So you'll see that right there. But if you're in the photo shoot, you're going to be fresh shaved, no shade on the face. And by the way, that's where that term came from. No shade. If you say that as a man, understand that it came from the drag queens who did not have any kind of beard. So then they would say no shade because they didn't have a beard on their face. Anyway, I digress. Because I have an uncle that used to dress up. And he would tell me stuff like this back in the day. I got a lot of stories I could tell, but I've not cleared all of the stories, so I can't tell everything. But that's one thing I did learn. But they are trying to go away from that. Now, here is Megan Rapinoe. Now, I don't know what they were thinking trying to make her be a Victoria's Secret angel, okay? If you're trying to sell soccer equipment to girls, maybe that might be the route you go. But if I am looking at a catalog like how I did back in the day, and I see Megan Rapinoe pop up, I'm not really interested, okay? This ain't it. You are built like an MMA fighter. You are built like John Bones Jones, Rampage Jackson, Ken Shamrock. You're built like Kurt Angle. You are a WWF wrestler. That is not congruent with Victoria's Secret. When I think Victoria's Secret, I don't think German suplex, powerbomb, Bill Goldberg spear, Stone Cold Stunner, rock bottom, Hollywood Hulk Hogan leg drop. I don't think that. I think beauty and elegance and class. I don't think green bull dagger, buzz cut hair. I don't think that, but I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. The point is that Victoria's Secret wants to go a different direction because they realized that their woke marketing was not profitable. They lost 5% in 2023, and then that was down from 2022 and from 2021 and from 2020. They had been declining. They have not been advancing or making money on this. So they got to change direction. This is always what happens. So if you ever want to force a company to go back the other way, stop patronizing them. Don't buy their products anymore. And they make a change, because at the end of the day, all this woke stuff means nothing if the dollars don't make sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Point blank, period. But let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's keep on moving here. We have a lot going on. So Oprah apparently wanted to become vice president. Now, this was in 2020. I thought she wanted to be the president, because back in 2020, I was seeing her talk and do certain things, and it was a thought in my mind like, hey, she might want to get in politics. She might become the presidential nominee. She might try to throw a hat in the ring. Now, the story is, and the story has conflicting reports. The story is that she called Mitt Romney's wife, because let's go back a little bit. Oprah has known the Romneys, Mitt Romney, of course, Republican, quote unquote, senator in Utah. She knew him and his wife, Ann, from at least 2012. She interviewed them at their lakeside mansion or estate in New Hampshire. Now, okay, you live in New Hampshire, but you are a Utah senator. How many houses do you have? But anyway, so she interviewed them in New Hampshire, and she's known them since then. And she's been a big fan of Ann Romney specifically. Now, here's something else. Can we talk about this? Because, I mean, let's show Oprah and her friends, right? Let's show Oprah and her friends, these individuals right here. Matter of fact, here's a great picture. I got two pictures for you guys. All right, let's show this, because this is pretty important. Now, why would this person, you see Oprah right there with Barry and Big Mike. You see her, right? I mean, Michelle, you see her with them. These are her friends. Remember, let's get a little bit of context. Oprah's show and her studios, Harpo Studios, was based in Chicago at the same time when Barack Obama was the senator in Illinois, quote unquote, from Chicago, his adopted home. Michelle Obama from Chicago. And he had his campaign launched from Chicago. They've been friends for a very long time. And then watch this. Look at who it is. Oprah getting Medal of Freedom from none other than Barack Hussein Obama. So this is somebody who is very well known to the Obamas, very well known to this whole thing, very well known to Chicago. Remember when your man got in trouble, Juicy Smouye, and his friend or somebody had a connection to Michelle, and then Michelle probably contacted Kim Fox, and then the whole thing went away. Remember that? So she's tied into all that. Now, having said all that, why is Oprah hanging out with Ann Romney, a Republican senator's wife? Why is she fond of the Romneys? Now, either you got two things going on. Either the Romneys are rhinos at best, no more than Democrats, the same thing as George W., same thing as Slick Willie, the same thing as Barack Obama. Either that or she doesn't really care about being a Democrat. I can't tell. I think it's more of the former rather than the latter. But anyway, she knows the Romneys since 2012, and she was thinking about becoming someone's VP pick in 2020 because she had no faith in Joe. Now, why would this person not have faith in her friend's vice president? Is it because her friend publicly, or at least privately, stated that Joe was a screw up and couldn't do things right and had dirt in his closet? Maybe that's why she didn't have faith in Joe and Kamala. Maybe that's why she wanted to run on an independent ticket with somebody from the right. It was no there was no black person considered. Okay, Miss Pro Blackity Black, all that good stuff. There was no black person considered, no woman considered. She even said that Pocahontas, Liz Warren, couldn't get it done. She says Pocahontas couldn't get it done. Kamala couldn't get it done. Creepy, Sleepy Joe couldn't get it done. She wanted to run as a VP pick. To first, it was Michael Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York. Okay, it was Bloomberg at first. Then what she did was she called Ann, her friend, and said, hey, I'm trying to be the vice president. I think that me and your husband should run on an independent ticket together. Then we can beat Trump, because Joe and Kamala can't do it by themselves. That was her plan. Now, ultimately, Mitt Romney declined. Oprah says that didn't happen. Oprah says what happened is she did call Ann Romney, but it was to convince Mitt to run, but not for her to run with him. Now, do y'all think that she called Ann Romney to ask if her husband was going to run, or do you think that she wanted to get on the ticket in some kind of way? I think she wanted to get on the ticket. Why would you ask Mitt Romney to run as an independent? What kind of sense does that make? It made no sense at all. She wanted to be on the ticket. But again, there was no woman asked. There was no black person asked. It was just these two white men that she got on the horn trying to see, hey, who's trying to run and have me as the vice president? Funny how that works. Miss Pro, Blackity Black, all that stuff. Now, will Oprah get canceled for trying to reach out to a Republican to become their VP pick? Is that going to happen? Is she going to be called all kind of names and sellouts and everything else for doing that? I think not, especially since she has denied it, which I don't believe. I don't believe it at all. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. It's a good point right there. Jose says she can't run now because of Hawaii. Yeah, that's an issue right there. Hawaii, that was a whole a ball drop right there. That whole fund and the rumors swirling around that's not really going to work out too well. But I don't think Oprah would run again. I think that Michelle Obama will run. She'd run. You know what? I said it. I said this actually back in 2020 or 2019. You guys might remember I was saying that a good team would be Michelle and Oprah. Now, that might be a little bit too much. Two black women, I mean, powerful. Man, it's like having Donald Trump twice. I'm not trying to compare them to Trump. Don't get misunderstood. I'm just trying to say it's not a good mix. You got to have a contrast. Oprah and Michelle Obama are very similar. Just like if you had two Donald Trumps, that's very similar. Two Bill Clintons, it doesn't make any sense. You need to have a little bit of contrast. That's why when Mike Pence was vice president, you might not like him now, and that's fine. But when he was the vice president, it was a good combination. He was the quiet, stoic guy, and Trump was the bull in the china shop. You got to have that balance. Like if you got a comedian, you got the straight guy. The wild, wacky, zany character and the stone cold, rock solid, don't crack no smile. You got to have that contrast. But I was mentioning both of them as potential presidential nominees, and I was halfway right. Oprah wanted to run in 2020, according to reports. And by the way, the news of that comes from Mitt Romney's upcoming book. And they said that there's going to be more revelations in the book. Now, I'm willing to bet that a lot of the book is going to be about Donald Trump, because I'm not really trying to read a Mitt Romney book. What can be so interesting? Okay, you're a Mormon and you live in Utah now. Okay, great. Now, what else? What else are we talking about? I'm not really trying to read a Mitt Romney book, but if you guys are interested, that should be out pretty soon. But I'm not trying to promote that, so I'm not going to tell you the name or the release date. But let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We have quite a bit to get into. Now, here's a scenario I have for you guys. If you are in a GameStop or any retail store and someone is shoplifting and they hop across the counter to shoplift, and in the process of them fleeing, you shoot them one time, I mean, what should the penalty be? What should the actual penalty be? I covered the story of the guy in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He's at a GameStop working. There's a guy in there for an hour looking around. And then toward the end, he was trying to distract the manager who was in there working. And he hopped behind the counter to steal some Pokemon. I think it was Scarlet and Violet Ultra Premium trading cards. He grabs the boxes and he makes for the exit. And the manager pulls his gun out, hits him one time in the side. The getaway vehicle, the woman inside calls the police. I think she brings him to the hospital, and he dies like 3 hours later. Now, it's a tough case. For me personally, I have zero sympathy for the shoplifter. Why should I feel anything for that guy? You were doing wrong. See, look, even if the store manager of the GameStop, even if he is found some kind of way liable for what he did, I don't feel any sympathy for the shoplifter. Look, if you don't do wrong, then wrong doesn't happen. Or in this case, I'm not trying to say if you don't do wrong, you're never going to be a victim. I'm just trying to say, in this case, if he didn't do what he did, hopping over the counter, scaring the guy, stealing stuff, then he's fine. He is not going to be in the situation that he's in. Now, I'm reading the comments say he's no longer in danger. I understand that. There could be a consequence for the store owner, possibly. However, this wouldn't even be the case if the guy didn't do what he did, if the shoplifter wasn't hopping over the counter and acting the fool. Okay? So I have zero sympathy for the guy who got deleted. He brought that on himself. But there may be a question as to whether the store manager of the GameStop is in any kind of way liable legally. We're going to see what's going on here. Let's go and check out the video if you've not seen it, the news report.
Charged with shooting.
All right, let's throw it on the screen right quick.
Charged with shooting and killing a customer, posting bond, and walking out of jail today. Police say he shot a suspected shoplifter at the Pembroke Pines store. And
now, okay, I'm going to restart that because it's a comment I want to read right quick. Let me see. 10 Am says, ABL, a shoplifter shot at a cop last night in Virginia Beach. Exactly. These guys, you never know what's going on. Guys are dangerous. Look, if you're that bold to jump over a counter and steal stuff in the GameStop, and it's probably at night, I don't know what you got going on. Are you on drugs? Are you armed? Are you dangerous? Are you going to try to do something to me? You're putting me in a heightened state of alert. I don't know what's going on. So if my gun comes out and I hit you, I mean, you earned it. Whether I'm legally liable or not is a separate question, but he most certainly earned what he got. Speaking about the guy who got deleted.
Charged with shooting and killing a customer, posting bond, and walking out of jail today. Police say he shot a suspected shoplifter at the Pembroke Pines store.
And that store employee commenting to our cameras as he bonded out of jail earlier today. Local 10's Roy Ramos is live with what that man had to say. Roy?
When I spoke with that store manager, he appeared to be very remorseful. In fact, he says he never meant for any of this to happen. But it's police who say surveillance cameras captured this entire incident. And in that video, you can see the victim was not a threat, nor was he armed.
Derek, is there anything you want to say?
33-year-old Derek Guerrero bonding out of the Broward County Jail Thursday after being arrested and charged with manslaughter for allegedly shooting and killing a man police say was shoplifting at this Pembroke Pines GameStop.
Can you tell us what happened inside of the GameStop?
While Guerrero didn't tell me why he felt the need to shoot Tuesday night, investigators say it's the single shot fired from his gun that took the life of 21-year-old Chadwick Coates.
Is there anything you want to say to the victim's family?
I'm extremely sorry for the family.
Guerrero was working at the GameStop as a store manager when police said the victim, who was in the store for more than an hour, tried to distract him by asking Guerrero to grab merchandise from a top shelf. That's when police said he made his move, jumping behind the counter, grabbing what he could. But just as he made his way to the front doors, police said Guerrero grabbed a gun from his waistband and shot him.
Now let's pause right here. So the guy was distracting them, saying, "Hey, can you grab something from the top?" And of course, if you got to grab something from the top, your back will be turned to the counter. So in the GameStop, as far as I remember, I used to go there all the time back in the day. You have the front counter, and in the front counter, there could be items inside, and it's not always locked up. It could just be open, but you can't just go back there and get stuff without reaching back there yourself or asking them to do it. So if he's being asked, "Hey, can you get something from the top?" You got to get a ladder or whatever it is, climb on a ladder, and his back is turned to the front. Now, that's when the guy jumps behind the counter as his back is turned and is grabbing stuff. So instantly, you scared. You're going to be in a heightened sense of alert. Like, what's this guy doing? You trying to do something to me? You trying to rob me? Trying to kill me? Trying to shoplift? I don't know what's going on. But the problem is, when the guy was trying to flee, the gun comes out and he gets popped. But you know, that can happen in a very short period of time. From the time that he was up on the ladder, trying to get things from the top shelf, and the guy jumped behind the counter, grabbed some cards, and then fled, that could have been 3-4 seconds. It could have been just a matter of seconds. From him being like, okay, he's on a ladder, the guy jumps back, grabs stuff, and runs out. You hearing the noise behind you, he's bumping into you on a ladder, you pulling your gun. So it's just all happening so fast. I'm not saying that it was justified, because I'm not really sure. I think they're going to figure that out when they do an investigation. But I understand why he would do it. I understand 100%.
The manager observed him and yelled at him, retrieved a firearm, and shot one round towards the victim.
While Coates was rushed to the hospital and later died from his injuries, it's Guerrero who appeared to be remorseful.
Now, I was in the comments reading, and somebody said, "Oh, you should have shot him in the leg." I mean, that's the silliest thing. You shot him one time in the side. Like, you can't just, in that moment, aim to a specific limb. This ain't no video game. This ain't Fallout 4 where you could just pause time and then aim right toward a specific limb. That's not how that works. Okay, if you're just shooting toward somebody with a handgun especially, if you hit them, you're lucky. He moving around, acting the fool, crackish moves. If you hit him, you're lucky. And to try and aim for a specific limb without missing and hitting somebody else or hitting the glass or something crazy is not really possible in reality.
For allegedly taking the life of a man who police say may have been shoplifting but was unarmed and didn't pose a threat.
I didn't mean for any of this to happen to the family. It wasn't my intention. That's all I'm going to say.
And again, Guerrero saying right there, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I also did get a chance to reach out to the Coates family. However, they are choosing not to comment on the case at this time.
So the Coates, that's the guy that was the guy who got deleted. So again, I have zero sympathy for the guy who got deleted. And the reason why I'm saying deleted for you guys to keep asking me is because I don't want to say the other word. I don't want to say too many words that's going to trigger YouTube. That's why I have my website where I can write wherever I want. And my social media platforms. Twitter is really good for being able to say what you want. They don't censor anything. Facebook, on the other hand, look, there's different levels of censorship on the social media platforms. You have YouTube. You say certain keywords. They like to censor you. They like to try and block your stuff, which is already happening right now. So I'm trying to lessen that. And then on Facebook, anything political, any certain words, they are the worst with censorship on Facebook. So on there, I got to post family-friendly, normie stuff, or else they're going to try to take my stuff away on there. Twitter, you could do whatever you want. You could say pretty much whatever. You could do whatever. It's all open. Shout out to Elon Musk. Big up to Elon Musk. You can say whatever you want over there. Instagram is the same as Facebook for the most part, but it's a little bit more lax. They got a different staff over there to moderate content. But on my website, I can say whatever I want. So that's the reason why I say he got deleted and whatever on the YouTubes. But back to my man right here in Florida. I mean, hey, You want to shoplift and act a fool, then you're going to get your reward. He dead now. I don't really feel bad. It's unfortunate that he has to die, that he had to die, but you put yourself in that predicament. Now, again, we can argue and have a debate over whether it was excessive force or whatever, but it doesn't really matter ultimately, because at the end of the day, he's gone. The debate can be had, but ultimately any debate will not bring the guy back. All that the debate does is it discusses the fate of the store manager. If there's a penalty, it shouldn't be that much, because again, if the guy didn't go back there and act a fool and steal, and if he didn't do that, then we're not right here talking about him being dead if he doesn't do what he does. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Rumble is okay, but Rumble has no reach. Rumble is the equivalent to BitChute. And I already use BitChute, so there's no point in going to Rumble. Rumble is good if you have a mega size. You got to be like almost a TV station to use Rumble and have any kind of benefit. But for most people, Rumble has no benefit. But I like Rumble, what they're doing. I like them for what they're trying to accomplish, but they're just not quite there yet. They're not quite there yet. I'd rather just put stuff on my own website than Rumble at this point. Or BitChute. I have a BitChute right there in the box. The BitChute I've had for years. When I put regular videos up and live streams, they all get archived on BitChute, everything. So that'll be in the box if you've not seen that. Yeah, you got to be Crowder. See, the thing about Crowder is that Rumble has invested cash into him specifically. They probably gave him a deal over there and gave him a check. So if he's not generating the views that he would on YouTube, which is probably not, it doesn't really matter because they pay him. But regular content creators, mid-sized guys like me, it's not a thing that makes any sense to do. Again, you might as well just go to BitChute or your regular website, because Rumble is not quite there yet. But I like them and their goal, what they want to accomplish. I like what they got going on. So no diss against Rumble, but it's just not really a viable alternative at this point. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We got a few more things to discuss. Locals is owned by Rumble, by the way. So shout out to him. Shout out to them over there. All right. Now, and I remember when I first got on BitChute, people were saying the same thing about BitChute. Hey man, get on BitChute, get on BitChute, get on BitChute. And I did it, and then some people watched, but not really. And I hope that, like, if I was to get on Rumble and I'm getting the same kind of views that BitChute gets, I'm like, what's the point? I already had an alternative platform. So what's the point in having another one? But and this is part of the reason why I'm gonna do shorts, is because I can't really avoid it. I gotta, at a certain point, be able to kind of keep myself modern. And that's what's happening. People want to see some of the short videos. I want to do some of the short videos, but still keep my content the way it is. So still do my regular short 10-minute or so videos, but and my live streams, of course, every Wednesday and Saturday. But in addition, do shorts and a different channel as well. That probably makes more sense. And then put the shorts on a platform like Twitter. You know what I'd rather would do is put my videos on Twitter than Rumble. I might start doing that because I'm able to get visibility on Twitter. I'm not censored. It's a more accessible platform than Rumble, in my opinion. But I do like Rumble. But I digress. I don't want to get too deep into that kind of stuff. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, we got Speaker of the House drama. Speaker of the House. So check it out. Who is the Speaker of the House gonna be? Who is it gonna be? Will the real Speaker of the House please stand up? First, it was Kevin McCarthy, and that took forever. That took 15 rounds of voting to confirm him, and then it only took one guy to put forward a motion to get him out of the office, and then it took 8 people to get him out eventually. So that was that. And then you have the next guys. There was an internal vote. In the internal vote, you had Steve Scalise as the winner, runner-up Jim Jordan, and that was it. So Steve Scalise, he was a presumptive person, but he drops out. He says, nah, you guys got too much going on. I don't want to deal with it, so I'm not going to deal with it. So he dropped out. Then you had Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan steps up and says, okay, I'm going to be the guy. I'm putting my name out there to be the next Speaker of the House. He goes one round, he's 20 votes short. Another round, 22 votes short. Another round, 24 or 25 votes short. So in each of the 3 rounds, he did worse than the previous. So round 2 did worse than the first. Round 3 did worse than the second. So it's like, what's going on here? What are we doing? We're not able to get the needle moving. Then Jim Jordan comes out and says, okay, I'm not quitting, but what I'm going to do is allow, what's my man name? Patrick McHenry? I think that's his name. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to allow Patrick McHenry to have power as a temporary speaker. So I'm not dropping out. I'm not endorsing Patrick McHenry to become the permanent speaker, but just for now. Just for now. I'm like, really? So you're going to place a stand-in? A stand-in? Is that what we're going to do? A body double? Like, what are we talking about? A temporary speaker, Patrick McHenry. And now we have Byron Donald throwing his name in the hat, trying to be the next Speaker of the House. Now, here's the question. Yeah, the interim speaker. That's right, back up. Who will the next speaker actually be? Is it going to be Steve Scalise, Jim Jordan, Patrick McHenry, Byron Donalds, Kevin McCarthy, Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump? Who's going to be the next speaker of the House? And of course, Hakeem Jeffries is the House minority leader. And all Democrats are going to vote against whoever the Republicans put up. And they're going to all vote for their guy, Hakeem Jeffries. Although some say that Nancy Pelosi is still running the show and your man is a front man. Jeffries is a front man. So I'm reading some of the comments. Who's going to be the actual speaker? Is it going to be Byron Donalds? Who's going to be it? Somebody said Putin, Trump, AOC. You guys want a poll for that? Okay, I'll run the poll. So let's do a poll. Matter of fact, hold on. Poll. There we go. Next Speaker of the House. And the options, we're going to have Scalise, Steve Scalise, Jim Jordan, Byron Donalds. I don't like putting other because it's kind of a cop-out. I want you to pick between the 3. Steve Scalise, Jim Jordan, Byron Donalds. I know some guys like Trump, but realistically, he's not going to be that because he's got to try to focus on becoming the president. And you can't, it's impossible to try and become the president and be going to court every day and become the Speaker of the House all at once. It's not possible. So here are the 3 options we have. Steve Scalise, Jim Jordan, Byron Donalds. Let's run it. All right. The poll should be up. And if it's not, give it a moment. But there it is right there. Now, I know that it's covering quite a bit of the screen on my left, but I can't control that. So y'all got to work with me. All right. Now, not Hakeem because it won't be Hakeem. Because they're not, you got to have guys in the GOP to vote for Hakeem. And that'd be ridiculous. I don't think they're that bold. They are that crazy to vote for Hakeem Jeffries on the right. I mean, they might vote for a potato wedge from Chili's restaurant before they vote for Hakeem Jeffries. All right. Somebody says Byron is great, but not enough experience. Somebody says, sorry, not voting. It's all right. That's your right to not vote. You voted twice. Okay, that's a ballot harvesting over there. So the leader right now is Jim Jordan. 56% say Jim Jordan. So we gonna see who's the guy. Somebody says Tupac. Yeah, that ain't gonna work out. You gonna mail your vote in? Okay, cool. We're gonna do vote by mail. We're gonna do vote by mail on the electronic vote. Somebody said McCarthy. Yeah, McCarthy. You know, I mean, I said it. People don't like me for saying this sometimes, but truthfully, you may as well kept Kevin McCarthy. You might as well kept him because you got to understand the reason why there's so much drama surrounding the speaker vote is kind of, I guess, two reasons, but one reason. The first thing is that we have a very small majority in the House. Only 217 votes to confirm. We have 221 House Republicans. We got a very slim margin. And normally the number to confirm is 218. We have 221 Republicans. Very slim margin in the House. We don't have the Senate or the White House. So you got some guys in the GOP with their own agendas. You got some guys that are going to refuse to vote for things for their own reasons. They may have constituents that made promise to. So you're going to have some guys that don't play ball. And since there's such a slim majority, you can't not get everybody on the same page. So you have to make concessions. You have to. And if you don't, you're going to see this drama continue to unfold. What's happening is Jim Jordan cannot get these guys on one accord. That's the problem. That's why he keeps losing more and more and more and more votes. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket surgery to understand what's happening. So again, you might as well kept Kevin McCarthy because say what you want, he had the majority under control to a certain extent. The only people that had an issue with Kevin McCarthy was Matt Gaetz in the 8 out of 221. Just 8 people. So it's hard to, you know what I mean? And people say, oh, he broke his promise. Look, you must make concessions or you won't get anything done. That's all. Me for the speaker, I would love to be the speaker of the House. Put me in there. I get everything done. I'll be in there cracking whips. Now, speaking about cracking whips, hold on. So the poll is still up. I'll let it rock for a little while longer, but what I got to do is play the phone call video. Now, have you guys heard that? The phone call? Now, which one of you guys got liquored up and called one of these congressmen's wives talking about you killing the country and our borders wide open? Which one of y'all got drunk on that box wine or that bum juice, still reserved, Mad Dog 2020? Which one of y'all got liquored up and called this guy's wife? Hold on. We're going to play a couple videos here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Now, I got to find the, there's 2 of them I want to find. All right, let me see. What's my man's name? The congressman. I got to find that because that was really important. It was 2 videos I wanted to show you guys. Let me see. Don Bacon. That's his name. Don Bacon. I thought his name was Doug. Nah, Don. Don Bacon. That's a name, ain't it? Don Bacon.
And here's
All right, so let's turn this on. Let's watch this right quick. We're gonna watch this and then the other one. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's start from the top. Let's start from the drunk call. And before I play that, before I play the drunk call, this one. Matter of fact, I'll play the drunk call first. The drunk call first, and we're gonna play the other one that was just kind of crazy. And before I do that, I'm going to end the poll because the results have not changed at all. So, Speaker of the House, out of the three that I picked, Jim Jordan, Byron Donald, Steve Scalise, out of 320 votes, we have Jim Jordan 59%, Byron Donald 34%, and Steve Scalise with 5%. So that's the margin right there. Again, Jim Jordan 59%, Byron Donalds 34%, and Steve Scalise 5% of you guys. So the favorite, obviously, as it has been throughout the entire time I've been on this channel, has been Jim Jordan. You guys like him a lot, but he's losing votes every other time he goes out there to vote. It took 15 votes to confirm Kevin McCarthy, but every time that they have a vote for Jim Jordan, he gets further and further away from where he needs to be. He needs to reach 217. He's still in the 190s. In the 190s. Now, let's look at this right here. This is a news report from KMTV of House Rep Don Bacon talking about somebody called his wife threatening him over his Jim Jordan vote. Let's check it out.
Here's how local representatives voted. Iowa Representative Randy Feenstra and Nebraska Representatives Mike Flood and Adrian Smith voted for Jim Jordan. Nebraska Representative Don Bacon voted for Kevin McCarthy. Bacon and his wife Angie were college sweethearts. She's appeared in a few campaign ads and at events, but where she finds herself now is unenviable. The target of anonymous messages because of her husband's votes. He talked to 3 News Now reporter Alex Whitney earlier today.
After a second failed vote on Wednesday to name Jim Jordan as House Speaker, Republicans are no closer to narrowing down who will lead the House majority. One of those Republicans still holding out is Nebraska's Congressman Don Bacon.
What we saw was a very small minority vacate the Speaker and then defeated Scalise. And you can't have a minority, the majority run the House. And that's what's going on.
I mean, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. You cannot have a majority, a minority of the majority run the House. The whole point of having the House majority is for you guys to be the ones that rule the House. But if there's a faction, a small faction in the majority running the House, we got a problem. It defeats the whole purpose of having the majority. But again, this is what I was talking about. When there's a slim majority in the House, it's easy for a small faction to arise and dominate the whole process.
So in principle, I just said I can't do it.
Bacon said his office has received numerous calls regarding his vote for Speaker, most of those coming from outside of the district. But some anonymous messages about his vote, sent to his wife Angie, have caused the congressman concern.
The campaign to push the Speaker, it's gotten rough and tumble with the phone calls, threats to primaries, and I get all that stuff. It's all right, but you start sending texts to my wife anonymously and calling her anonymously with threats. It's wrong.
One voicemail sent to his wife, which 3 News Now has obtained a copy of, lamented Bacon's lack of support for Jordan.
So somebody's texting her on her iPhone. And I'm going to read this right quick. Hold on. It says, talk to your husband, tell him to step up and be a leader and help the Republican Party get a speaker. There's too much going on in the world for all this going on in the Republican Party. You guys take 5 steps forward and then turn around and take 20 steps back.
One voicemail sent to his wife, which 3 News Now has obtained a copy of, lamented Bacon.
And then somebody says, why is your husband causing chaos by not supporting Jim Jordan? I thought he was a team player. Who is this? Oh, now I ain't got nothing to say? Your husband will not hold any political office ever again. What a disappointment and what a disappoint and failure he is. He has more courage than you. You don't put your name behind your statements. So somebody's texting his wife, and she's responding. You see the blue text from her.
Bacon's lack of support for Jordan.
Please talk sense into your husband. He is destroying the Republican Party. Please. The world needs a united Republican Party.
Now, how many beers do you think this guy had before the phone call? Give me the over-under. How many beers has this guy had before this phone call? Or is he sober? Y'all let me know what you think is going on.
Every time they take 5 steps forward, they end up taking 20 steps backwards. Please. Talk sense into his head, please.
Bacon isn't just sharing his frustration with the media. He's calling on Jordan to condemn the behavior of his supporters.
Now, let's pause that right there. Now, I'm going to play, somebody said, okay, 12, the whole 12, fine, the whole pack, the whole a case, 22, 120s, 12, one Bud Light. That might be all it takes, huh? 7, 12 pack, 18. 9 beer over 4 hours. 365, 19 Bud Lights, 17 beer, 69 Bud Lights. Hey man, I know a drunk caller when I hear him because I've had a few that call the show. You guys be 15 Bud Lights deep and call me. That's like, hey man, you might want to just take a little nap right quick. A 6-pack at best, could be. Now, let's go ahead and play this other phone call from CNN. Now, again, these calls could come from anywhere. It could be Democrats. It could be anybody doing this. You know how politics is. It's weird. But let's hear the phone call.
Exclusive audio right now of a threatening message that was left as a voicemail for the wife of one of the Republican lawmakers who opposes Jordan. This has only been edited to take out identifying information of the wife and the lawmaker. We've bleeped out some of the language, but not all of it. And I want to warn you, this is pretty ugly stuff. Take a listen.
Why is your husband such a pig? Why would he get on TV and make an asshole of himself? Because he's a deep state prick.
Sorry for the cussing, but somebody's upset on the phone and they're expressing themselves with very colorful language. So pardon the cursing, please.
Because he doesn't represent the people. So what we're going to do is we're going to come follow you all over the place. We're going to be up your ass nonstop. We are now Antifa. We're going to do what the left does because your of a husband gets on TV. Oh, the bad guys, they did so. I'm going to vote for Kevin McCarthy, a piece of shit who everybody knows. And for his piece of shit ass to talk about Americans who are actually fighting for Americans as the bad people, says everything about him. So you, your husband, and we're not like the left. We aren't violent, but we're going to follow your ass, every appointment you have, everything you do. Your husband's an asshole. You should talk to his stupid ass. We're at war. Israelis being killed, and your dumb husband is acting like a 2-year-old. No wonder. He's a warmongering piece of shit. So listen, you're going to keep getting calls and emails. I'm putting all your information over the internet now. Everybody else is, and you will not be left alone because your husband, Jim Jordan, or more conservative, or you're going to be molested like you can't ever imagine. And again, non-violently. You won't go to the beauty parlor. You must be a bitch to marry an ugly mother like that.
Okie dokie. So that was it. So what do you guys think? Do you think that was legitimate from a real conservative person, some kind of Democrat operative, federale, FBI? Who was that on the phone? I mean, that's going to be kind of hard to answer, obviously, because it's an anonymous call. But somebody appeared to be very upset. Somebody was definitely upset for sure. I mean, what in the world? Yeah, there's a lot of anger going to the beauty parlor. The beauty parlor, I mean, yeah. I don't know. That's kind of suspect right there. That's definitely pretty suspect. Somebody says, a lot of guys say hoax, no, somebody else made it personal. Something's glowing and it's not yellow cake. Hey, you know, that's what's happening. So somebody says Alex Stein skit. I mean, you never know. But see, there's multiple guys complaining about what's going on. A lot of different people are saying the same thing, that they are getting threatened in phone calls. Other House reps are saying the same thing. So it could be like a massive campaign from people on the other side, some federales. You never know who it could be. It could be happening right there in D.C. Somebody said Ray Epps, hilarious. It most certainly could have been Ray Epps. Shout out to him. Ray Epps. Did y'all see when he got arrested? Hold on. Or he got charged, pardon me. I don't want to say he got arrested. I'm going to show you this right quick. And then we could keep moving here.
And Ken, moments ago, we learned that a single charge was filed against Ray Epps, a man who was the subject of several January 6th related conspiracy theories.
That's right. Jose, Ray Epps has been kind of a boogeyman.
Conspiracy theories. He was on tape saying, go into the Capitol. By the way, this video is from last month. When was this? This was September 19th. But conspiracy theories, he was literally on video saying, go into the Capitol. So how is that a conspiracy theory?
In certain right-wing circles, because the conspiracy theory arose that he must have been a government operative because he was seen in videos exhorting people to go into the Capitol, but then he was taken down from an FBI webpage and he was never charged. Well, today he was charged with misdemeanor disorderly conduct, and a criminal information would suggest that he's going to plead guilty. He never entered the Capitol. He's not charged with violence.
Slap on the wrist at best. Dog and pony show at best. You got guys that are in prison and have been there for years for much less than what this guy had been charged with. Look, Brandon Strzok, you guys know what that is, Walkaway founder. This guy, all he did was give a speech outside, a nonviolent speech, a peaceful speech outside. He did not go into the Capitol. He did not incite any kind of riots. His life was turned upside down because of the whole situation. Now, this guy was literally involved with riotous action on videotape doing so. And it's like nothing. It's whatever. I mean, come on. This was him getting arrested and being charged with a crime was done purely for PR purposes, purely for optics, no other reason than that. There was no intention of holding this guy accountable for anything that he did. I'm not trying to lock him up because he's one of us. He's an asset. That's what's going on. All right. Yeah, that's right, Karen. Tucker was removed from Fox for asking questions about Epps. Yeah, exactly. So obviously somebody has this guy's. He's somebody to be so heavily protected. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just obvious. It's obvious. If I see money on the ground and I say the money's on the ground, and then someone says, that's a conspiracy, there's some money on the ground, I'm looking right at it. It's right there on the floor. I see it with my own two eyes. I could touch it. I'm here it is. The money's right here in the ground. Pick it up. Now it's a conspiracy theory. It's called gaslighting. When someone tells you that you don't see what you do see, and they're adamant about it, and they're trying to get you to really just buy into their story, it's called gaslighting. That's what's happening with us in the media. They do this every day. Every single day. It's like, man, come on. Stop with the nonsense. 9/11. Oh, that's a conspiracy. It wasn't a demolition, even though it felt like an accordion, beautiful, all on its own footprint with no plane hitting it, Tower 7. But I don't want to go down that road, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, let's keep on moving here. Oh, the LGBT teachers. Now, I'm not quite sure if I was crystal clear on this whole story, but I need to just be a little bit more clear. All right. There might be a news story here. Maybe there is, maybe there's not. Let me see if I can find one. But if not, I'm just going to go through it. Well, my video comes up right away. Look at that. But anyway, so these teachers, you got 2 LGBTQ LMNOP X, Y, Z teachers. Now, this is very confusing. I'm going to put up both of the pictures that are relevant to the story so we understand what's going on. And let me make sure I got the names right. What's the guy's name? Ezra Fry, David Acevedo. Okay. Here we go. Now, these 2 individuals on the right-hand side, these people are teachers in Hamilton County, Tennessee, which is Chattanooga area. This is like right where I live, not too far from me. The person on the left is Ezra Fry. The person on the right is David Acevedo. Now, this individual with the blue hair and the weird makeup is a woman, a biological XX woman who had a mastectomy, double mastectomy. And this person identifies as non-binary. Now, when the person, Ezra Fry on the left, when the person was seen earlier in the year in Chattanooga, well, at East Ridge, same thing. When they were seen at East Ridge Elementary School wearing this outfit, the black dress and the pink hair, people assumed that she was transgender, like a biological male, because no breasts, double mastectomy, all kind of other stuff going on, might be a little bit of beard action in that picture. They thought she was a male, but she's actually just quote unquote non-binary. Okay, removing your breasts so they can't tell that you are a lady probably appears to be kind of tall as well. So the whole point was to go for this I'm not either or, which is ridiculous. Removing your breasts is not going to make your chromosomes change. Okay, doing that, getting cosmetic surgery does not make you go from XX to something else. At the end of the day, you are still a woman, regardless of what drugs you take, surgery you get, or whatever. So this is a woman, okay? Biological XX. Now, this guy is a man, and this man identifies as transgender, all right? And it's very confusing because you would think that they were both men or that that was a man and that was a woman. But again, the blue-haired person is an XX, and the red dress with the beard is a man, okay? Let's just be clear. But parents were concerned when this particular individual showed up to school as a substitute teacher dressed like this. They're like, this is a man. What's going on here? It was a whole big mess. Now, the first picture was in April with the dress on and whatnot. That went viral on Facebook here in Chattanooga. Now, you fast forward to recently, these guys got arrested in a prostitution sting, okay, by the police. Both of these individuals were selling themselves on some kind of website. They got busted in a sting. They found drugs in their house, and they found a .22 pistol that was held by them illegally. All right. And I think the thing was, okay, what are you doing? What kind of drugs do you have around the gun? It's like, it could be the whole Hunter Biden kerfuffle, okay? You want to smoke crack in this area or shoot meth or heroin, whatever they're doing with the pistol right there. You might not be able to do that. Where'd you get the gun from? Now, of course, I'm a Second Amendment activist to a certain extent, but if you have all kind of stuff going on with the gun in the house, it might be a problem. But yeah, so these guys got caught up. Now, the parents were rebuked by a local agency or some kind of non-governmental organization talking about, oh, well, this person isn't really transgender and they shouldn't be judged based upon how they look. And by the way, so there's a staffing agency that hires these subs in the area, right? And when the original picture of the pink hair and the black dress went viral and parents were concerned, this person, Ezra, the woman, She went for a review of how she was dressed and came to school, and they found no problem because remember, that is an actual biological XX woman, biological, born female, just happens to have no breasts because she removed them to try and be more androgynous. And she looks a hot, crazy mess with how she presents, but she didn't present necessarily as something different other than what she is. She just looks kind of crazy. So they found no problem with her. But obviously, there is a problem. Now, my thing is this. If you're an adult, which they are adults, and you want to dress like that, you want to lop your breasts off or whatever, okay. But see, the problem is these people were around elementary school children. Elementary school children. K through 5, little kids. All right, 5 years old, 6 years old. Now, ask yourself this. Would you want a person who might be on hard drugs and goes to these particular websites to sell themselves, involved in X work and transgender, non-binary, all this, that, and the third? Would you want that person around your children? Is that what you want? Because we know what's happening in a lot of these schools where the kids are getting groomed. That's the ultimate goal. It's like, okay, why do we have drag queen story time? And we've seen it over and over again. There was one guy at a drag queen story time that was a whole sex offender. Okay. Another guy flashed the kids at the drag queen story time. I mean, we see the play. We see the play. They got these books in the library that are pornographic for children to read. So graphic that my man, John Amanchuku is reading the books in front of adults, and they're saying, hey, it's too much, man. Put the book down. Why is it too much for me to read right here in front of all adults with no kids around when the book is available for kids to read in the library? Why is it too much for me to read right now? You see what I'm saying? But we know what the play is. The play is for them to grab hold of this stuff and then become groomed that way. So then these people can easily abuse them. It's simple. I would not want them around my children at all. Point blank, period. Although this person on the left was not transgender, she identifies as non-binary. It doesn't matter. We still see there's a problem. And then her partner, this guy, is a man. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not trying to have a Little Red Riding Hood that's a male strolling my daughter's classroom if I had kids, trying to talk about, yeah, call me Miss Guerrero. No, I'm not going to do that, sir. I'm not calling you Miss Guerrero, Miss Jimenez, or anything like that. Go over that way. And to become a sub, there's not really a big process to go through. I know a girl that's a sub, and she told me to become a sub, there's no real prior education required. All you got to do is take a one-day class. She told me, at least in the place where I met her or that I know her from, you take a one-day class and you're in. And part of that is because you got a staffing shortage. It's low pay. People don't want to do it. The scamdemic, that messed things up. You got kids that are on all kind of drugs. Matter of fact, hold on. Speaking about kids on drugs, that's a big problem. You got ADHD, you got autism, all kind of stuff from the vaccinations, allegedly. You got all that going on, and you're expecting these teachers to deal with it for a low amount of money. It's a lot. And then you got Big Pharma interfering with the kids with stuff like this. Now, didn't I just cover Ozempic and how it's dangerous for people, for adults? We look at this right here. Ozempic for kids, ? Drug makers test weight loss shots for 6-year-olds. And the subhead says, pediatric obesity experts say the availability of safe, effective medications is a game changer. Ozempic for 6-year-olds? How are they testing these drugs? What, are they getting like actual little kids to shoot Ozempic into? Listen, if your kid is obese, do not put them on Ozempic, please. Don't drug your kids up. Ozempic is tearing adults to pieces. People are not able to use the bathroom at all. I mean, the stomach problems are out of this world. Hospital, crying pain. Kids look, there's no reason for a 6-year-old to be obese. Okay? There's no reason for that. Stop feeding your kids so much food. If a kid's 6 years old, they got all the energy in the world. Unless they're some kind of way disabled or something like that. But even still, if they can't move around at all, why are you feeding them so much food? That's the key. If you want to lose weight, look, weight loss tip, and I know I preach about food and diet and whatnot, but I'm being dead serious. If you want to lose weight, don't eat. That's unhealthy. Well, what's healthier, being 5 million pounds or not eating one day? You can skip that Starbucks drink that got 15 donuts of sugar in it in one shot. You have 15 glazed donuts, a whole box of the hot Krispy Kremes in one Starbucks drink. You can skip that. You can skip the velvet cake, the cookies, and all that good stuff. You can skip all this junk. When I go to Walmart, look, we are approaching the first of the month. The EBT cards will be refreshed. They will be refreshed. Go to Walmart specifically, not Target, not Whole Foods, not Trader Joe's, not even the Publix or Wegmans or whatever you got, Kroger. Walmart. Go there the first of the month and you'll see what people are eating. Go there. Just go and see what's going on. You're going to see people that are in mobility scooters weighing 5 million pounds, like the guy from Lithuania, the scammer guy that was talking about, oh, my heart hurting, I can't eat, I can't pay for the food. You're going to see guys that are built like that are built like Fat Joe, Big Pun, in 1997. They're going to be in their scooters with all kind of garbage loaded in the top. Ozempic, no way. Not for no kids. Not for adults either. The big pharma cabal is ruining us because we don't want to do things that we should be doing. We rather would just take a pill instead, rather than just not eating so much. You want to take drugs, okay? You rather would just take drugs than to stop eating. It's crazy. People say, "Oh, it's not healthy to stop eating," but is Ozempic healthy? Is all these pills and get skinny quick medications, is that healthy? You know what's healthier than Ozempic is skipping the meal, not eating so much. But anyway, Kelly Kay says Big Pun was removed from his apartment with a crane. To get removed from your apartment with a crane is crazy. Is that when he died, or was that just him going to the club? You're going to the studio, and to leave your house, you got to get taken out with a crane, a cherry picker, like you're an engine in the car. That's crazy. To get removed from your apartment like you are replacing a Ford F-150 engine is nuts. But hey, that's what it is. Now, speaking about Big Pun, look, do you see how big this man was? Look at this. And I think that might not have even been his biggest. Big Pun right there on the left, obviously. On the right, Fat Joe. Now, Fat Joe has gotten a lot smaller over the years, much smaller. These guys were humongous, okay? This is nothing but food. Nothing but food. It's real simple. And Big Pun, RP Big Pun, but you that big, man, I mean, come on. It is what it is. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Where the road, that's crazy. I'm not going to read that, but if you guys can see that comment right there about Big Pun, what he would do on the studio, instead of going to the regular bathroom, that's nuts. I mean, who's going to be the guy that removes that? And how do you really keep yourself hygienic in that situation? You can't really, I don't know. There's no bidet that's going to accommodate a Big Pun. You got to be out back with a water hose and get up in there. But I don't want to get too graphic, so I'll move on. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got super chats, then we got calls to get to. Did I miss anything I wanted to get to? Let me see. The Canadians. Oh, man. Speaking about drugs and whatnot, hey, you know what? Remember, we were talking about universal health care and what would happen if it came down to it. So check it out. If we have universal health care and everyone is given the right to have it, and it's quote unquote free, although it's not, but it's quote unquote free, you don't pay anything. Well, what happens if you are chronically ill? If you are sick for 20 years and you need constant medical care? What happens if you are a drug user who ODs every week? What happens? Well, look, check it out. In Canada, there's a law that already passed that they are able to give you state-assisted dying, like Dr. Kevorkian. And if you are like chronically ill, cancer patient, chronic pain, there might have been a car accident, you could be a paraplegic, bad quality of life, whatever the case may be, they can give you state-assisted suicide. They can delete you legally if you request it, I suppose. Now, I was reading some of the comments on that, and they said they deleted one guy with dementia because they said he requested it. Now, if you have dementia, how can you request to get deleted? How does that work? Obviously, you're not in the right state of mind. If you have dementia, are you able to sign contracts? At that point of dementia, you got to give power of attorney to somebody else. When you're still kind of in the right state of the mind, you got to give power of attorney to your family member, to your wife, your husband, kids, some cousin, somebody got to take power of attorney, because you cannot make any life-altering changes, decisions, anything like that, because you have dementia. But they were able to get consent from a dementia patient and delete him without notifying his wife. Now, the new thing is, hey, if you're a drug abuser, if you're on crack, heroin, or whatever, we can delete you because, look, man, you know, your life is so difficult. You can't get off the drugs. And, you know, passing on might be a better thing. It might be a better option. So we can give you state-assisted deletion if you have a mental problem, which could include drug use, maybe schizophrenic, maybe you're an alcoholic, whatever it is, we can go ahead and delete you. Now, check it out. I'm going to say this. Nazi Germany, what did they do? What did they do? Who were the first ones to get deleted before the Jews and the Holocaust, obviously, which was horrendous? Before that, who did they delete first? The elderly, the handicapped, the permanently infirmed, the weak, the feeble. Them. It's the same thing going on here. Okay, you're elderly, you can't take care of yourself, you're a crackhead, like to smoke, you like to shoot heroin, you got some kind of mental problem, might be handicapped, quadriplegic, we'll delete you. It's the same thing. And it's no surprise that they gave a round of applause, standing ovation to a literal Nazi from Ukraine and Canada in Parliament. Why would they? Because it's the same thing. It's no difference. Tell me the difference. Look, you are imploring Nazi tactics. You applaud Nazis in Parliament, and you like to fund Nazis over in Ukraine. You support the Ukrainian Nazis. You support Nazis in your country, and you employ Nazi tactics in your country. Eugenics right there. It's simple. Am I wrong or am I right? But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, here's a good question. This is a really good question. Somebody asked me. King Chris says, why does anyone need help to delete themselves? Well, the thing is, they're going to encourage you to do it. Whereas before, you might be kind of scared. You don't know how to do it. Is it going to be a pistol? Is it going to be pills? So they're going to encourage you to do it. They're going to incentivize it because they will present the option to you. So all you got to do is just lay on the table. They'll hit you with a concoction of drugs and you'll be out. It's incentivized. If you suggest it and it seems to be painless and quick, then it's all good. That's why. Because they are encouraging you to go ahead and delete yourself. And they'll do it for you. And they might pay a little bit of money. They might pay some kind of outside agency for the drugs and the whole thing. But they figure, okay, if we delete this guy who is a crackhead and heroin addict, keep overdosing every week, and we got to keep paying for Narcan and ambulance rides and everything else. Or if you are elderly and in a nursing home and they're spending a bunch of money on you in your bed and the nurse take care of you, rather than having that expense, we're going to cut down on our expenses by offering this particular service. See, that's why. That's why. That's exactly why. And it goes back to the whole death panel discussion about universal health care. They have free health care in Canada, but if you're a little bit too sick, they might just kill you to stop the madness, to stop that expense from running up. See? So they won't charge you for it, but they'll just go ahead and delete you. So there's no expense to pay. Yep. And that's something else, dudes. To eliminate elderly pensions. That's something else. Because, hey, man, we got these entitlements. Like over here, we got Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, pensions, all kind of stuff. It's just too much to pay for. So if we could just end your life earlier, and we could do that on a broader scale, we could kind of like make it, we could do that in volume. We're going to save X amount of dollars over a certain period of time. Yep. Organs, well, maybe not so much organ donation, because if you owe, or if you are a crackhead, maybe if you are in chronic pain, perhaps there might be a way for you to get your organs donated. Yeah, for sure. Because it might be still good organs. But anyway, at very, very, very slippery slope. Absolutely. That's not a thing that I want to vote for or I would support in any way, form, or fashion, because and really we're seeing the slope slip now, because at first it was if you are like terminally ill, you're a cancer patient, you got a month to live or something like that. Then it became you got chronic pain, you might have been in an accident or something. Now it's mental health. That could be anything. They're including drug addiction and mental health. What's going to be next? You're obese. You can't stop eating. You have an eating disorder. You're too skinny because you're not eating enough. Mental health. Are you a narcissist? No, that's the word I like to use. Are you a narcissist? Are you schizophrenic? You're hearing voices? Okay, well, you're also going to be on the list for deletion. This is Nazi Germany all over again. Fourth Reich. If I'm wrong, y'all let me know in the comments, but I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Thank you to No White Guilt, who says that streamer should have hired a streetwalker. They'll do anything, $50. Big savings. Thank you to Jen F, who says the road rage took over his spirit. It sure did. It took over his spirit. That's why I say, hey, if I see you road raging, I'm out of your way, man. Hey, I know I'm trash. I'm garbage. I'm nothing. Okay. Whatever you say, boss, I'm not trying to get in the way of your 2007 Nissan Altima. All right. I don't like getting into car accidents. I'm not trying to have my truck flip on this road right now. Okay. You got it. Wherever you want to go, have at it. Olay. Thank you to Entry Required, who says back in the day, Anthony, all we had was a big old Sears catalog. I remember those days. Yes, indeed. And that was a much simpler time. Nowadays, you got too much. it's just the phones. It's just way too much overload. Anyway, they get to Zedarch's King Sword, who says, hi, ABL, hi, chat, hi, mods. They get to It's Different 32, who says, good shot, store owner, shrug, and kind of winking face. Thank you to Troy Livingston for your donation for your very first super chat on the channel. I really, really appreciate you. It's time for the calls, you guys. You know what to do. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. The number will always be in the description box as well. There's also an email in the description box if you want to get in through video and audio, and be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. All the information will be right there for you guys in the box. All right. Talking about Tabasco, I cannot see your comment. I don't know where it is. You gotta show me the comment again. I don't see it. All right. Is the Google mod there? See what I'm talking about? So when you say certain words, they get alerted. I said the K word to see if they would come, and here they are. See? All right. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, BL, it's F&A Ranger Xbox, buddy. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
World's still a mess 3 years later, huh?
Absolutely.
Well, did you see where Tucker Carlson did a show on the latest evidence on George Floyd?
No, I didn't see that.
Well, you need to watch it. I'm just saying it's very interesting what they had to say, but I watched the whole arrest. I actually watched it, and I recorded my screen on my phone, and then I went through the video frame by frame when what they did was he was trying to cash counterfeit money in a convenience store, got busted. They called the police. Now George has got this fentanyl and methamphetamines on him, so he puts it in his mouth so the cops don't get it. They put him in the squad car, and that's where you can see the drugs in his mouth. It's not his top teeth. It's not his bottom teeth. I took the screenshot and blew it up. And I actually watched the trial, and George Floyd had enough fentanyl to kill a Clydesdale horse in his blood. And they found the drugs in the cop car they'd spit out. That's why he had to get out of there. But by that time, he had held those drugs in his mouth so long that it absorbed right through his skin, and swallowing it. And that game over, lights out. But, yeah, that just came out. And I'm like, I got banned on Facebook for saying that 3 years ago. And because, I watch and I pay attention. And the reason why they didn't find the drugs that were spit out in the first car that he was put into was because of the riots. It took it 3 days to calm down. Then they finally checked the car and they found the drugs in there, because I watched the whole trial. Anyway, ABL, there's something else I was wanting to say, but it's not that important. Great show. Keep up the good work, brother. Keep up the good work. I keep sharing your channel. I'm on Wimkin social media. It's kind of like Facebook, but better. There's no censors. There's no fact checkers. If you're full of it, they'll let you know. The other users. Y'all have a good night. God bless America. Let's get our country. Oh, if you want to fight for Palestine, the best place to do that's in Palestine. I don't have any hate, but we got enough of our own problems here in America, and we need to take care of ours first. We ain't got time to worry about yours. So if you got a problem, you need to take it back over there. That's the whole reason those Americans left Europe and Asia and all that, is to get away from your nonsense. Don't bring it over here. We don't want it. I'll close with that, ABL. You take care, brother. God bless.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely.
Pleasure, always.
Right on. All right, great call. Shout out to you guys for calling. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. 386 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Joker One Woman. How are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
I'm doing great. I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. Can we jump back to the Canada with the whole assisted suicide thing? Excuse me, assisted deletion.
Right. Yeah.
So, this is literally out of a certain short man's playbook, as well as his co-conspirators in Italy and Russia. What they do is they look for vulnerable populations. They went and they got the mentally handicapped. If you look at most of the youth of today, up to about 25, a lot of them have neurodivergent things like ADHD, ADD. Although that is supposedly going to be the new normal, it's still looked down upon, and they attend quote-unquote special ed classes. Who do people think that they're going to go after first? That population. Then I'm going to kind of jump around to a couple of things in order to get to my point here, but let's look at the money that Biden is saying we need to send over to Israel. He's pulling that money from groups that are going to be targeted as well. Older people and veterans, which I am one. As veterans, when we deploy, we get messed up. We get diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, depression, all kinds of stuff, and we are constantly getting therapy, constantly getting medication. That costs money, and a lot of people don't want to put the money up behind the bills that they put, saying that they support the troops. They don't want to put money behind it. So what's the most effective way to cut that out, to get rid of those veterans? And if people think that they won't do it, they have some issues. They will do anything in order to get their own pockets filled because they've already proven that they will not work to support what the people want. Look at the state of the country right now. Most people with an ounce of common sense said, we need to close our borders. We don't need to send money over to Ukraine. We don't need to send money over to Israel. And we definitely don't need to go boots on the ground in Ukraine or Israel. What are they still trying to push? Those exact same things. We, the people, actually have the power, and we have got to get people in to work for us. There is a reason the Constitution was written in the exact wording that it was written in. A lot of people only can say, oh, well, we have freedom of speech, but they don't know the rest of it. They don't know anything else about the Constitution, about what they're able to do. They don't know their state laws. We have got to start pushing back against the left agenda because they are slowly deteriorating American society, bit by bit, act by act.
Absolutely.
That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for the show. You rock.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, bye.
All right. Great call. Fantastic call. But yeah, that's going to be next. And they, we got this crazy debt going on. So it's not far-fetched to think that, hey, you know what? Rather than paying on this debt, rather than having to deal with that, we'll just go ahead and get rid of those who are owed certain things, who have entitlements coming to them. So then there's no need to even, worry about the debt. There is no debt there's no entitlement coming to you if you're not alive to get it. That's the whole thing right there. Yeah, and shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And yeah, I think there's a lot of overdiagnosing of certain things. I'm not saying that certain things don't exist, but once you are able to successfully say everybody has something, then everyone falls under the category of mental illness. So then this idea of self-deletion, it gets presented to you. Hey, you have some kind of illness, some kind of disorder, some kind of something. Okay, you got ADHD, you got autism, you got schizophrenia, whatever it is. Okay, well, we're going to put you in the same category as everyone else. And that's pretty much how that goes. All right. Three, 2, 3. You don't know who I'm speaking to.
Hi, ABL. This is Joanne. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm good. First of all, great show. I just want to piggyback on the last caller comment about how they are imprisoning people for mental health issues without no reason. I just want to let everybody know that it's already happening here in California. Newsom has put a bill out that's going to basically, if you're schizophrenia or any type of psychotic disorder, drugs, alcohol, they can imprison you, or not imprison you, but send you to an institution to basically leave you there until they feel that you're deemed well to go into society. So it could be your family, your friends, or even first responders who can just petition the court and say, look, this person needs to be taken out of society, locked away, and until they know better or somehow figure out how to get out of the system to go back into society. It's happening already here in California. I'm not surprised, though, but this is like, it really needs to be addressed because, like you say, once California starts, usually the rest of the country will follow lead because, California's always in the news and all, whatever, but it's already here, and it's going to be on the ballot in 2024. It's called the Lantern and Peters Short Act, and basically it's just getting everybody off the street, but they only veil it into like homeless population. They try to take care of all of the mental people on the streets, but it could be a homeowner too, or it could be just someone who's like a regular normie. If somebody can call and say, look, this person is mentally ill, I think they're sick in the head, they can come get investigated, and next thing you know, they're out of their houses into some institution. So it's already happening, and I think it's a shame, and I just don't know. I mean, I live in Los Angeles, but I'm just ready to go because I'm a homeowner. I'm like, anybody can call and say, look, this woman's crazy, and I can be taken out of my house, and I lose everything. So, it's just like it's scary. It really is, because if you don't have, if you don't have like protection, or if someone got a vendetta out against you, this could be used in all type of ways to get you out of your house, to send you to a mental institution, and they can take your property, and then you're just, there's nothing you can do about it because it's a law. I mean, you got to fight the courts, of course, and fight the system to get back into society. And this is what Newsom is trying to do right now. At the end of the day, I don't know if he's running for president in 2024, but this will probably be on his agenda too if he is going to be that front runner guy that takes Biden position, whatever. But it's happening right here in Los Angeles. I mean, in the state of California. I mean, right now, I think it's next month. They're going to put in the ballot or something like that, or it's going to come to the city somehow that this is what they can do. Just you don't have to know me. You could be a first responder coming to my house and deem that I'm insane. You don't know me from a can of paint, and they have every right to take me out of my house and put me into some type of institution until I'm quote well enough to get back into society. I don't like this at all, and I feel bad for the people who are the guy who had that problem in Canada, but it's happening here in the United States, well, at least in California. So that's all I wanted to let people know, is that this is what's going on on the left coast, as you call it. So yeah, that's all I wanted to let you guys know. It's already here. It's coming to your city, maybe not, but definitely if you live in California, be very aware of, if you're crazy or whatever, you got any problems, or if you feel kind of whatever, just don't speak on it, or just don't call the police or even a first responder, because they have the power to put you out of your house or whatever. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Very good call. And, that's happening. I have heard about that over on the left coast. That is a very, very real thing and very, very scary. 504 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. So we were talking earlier about the fentanyl. I remember one of my friends I used to talk about aliens with, his mom's a pharmacist, and she was telling me, like, if you touch fentanyl, it'll seep into your skin and it'll probably kill you, because there's these evil people that would put fentanyl on dollars and put them on the ground. So when people went to go pick them up, they would, have to be rushed to emergency rooms. So even a little bit of fentanyl could be very deadly.
Yeah, that's really a crazy thing. It's a poison.
Yeah. and a lot of it is coming in from the border, and that's not good, and it definitely needs to be stopped. And I think it's unfortunate at the direction the country's going, and also right now the economy is not really doing well at all.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes from China as well. China sends the precursors to the drugs, and then the cartels take the precursors and finish it, and then they flood America with it, and it's really killing us. I think they said, like 100,000 people died of fentanyl or of opioid overdoses, the majority of that being synthetic opioids like fentanyl.
Right. And also with Oprah, you were talking about her earlier. I did some research on her. She was Miss Tennessee one time when she was younger, and she had a good life and stuff, but she fabricated and acted like she, had humble beginnings, and she was trying to appeal to her, like these white audiences and these different, groups that she had in her audience, because she wanted to make money off of them, and then later on, she turned on them. So we could see, as time went on and stuff, these people, they'll slowly show their colors.
Well, everybody in Hollywood, I won't say everyone, but a lot of Hollywood have their own little shtick that they use to be able to gain attention and fame.
Yeah. And also, as you said, which is very good, not everyone, but a lot of the people are doing that. They're like snakes, or like the Gavin Newsom. They're like snake oil salesmen, and they promote, a lot of them, not all, promote the woke agenda, like you were showing earlier, those two circus clown looking people, and these teachers and stuff that are trying to teach kids all that stuff, and they're really destroying the country by doing that, and it's absolutely really evil.
Yeah, it really is. Absolutely.
Yeah. And also the thing earlier that you're saying is that, also what the woke left will do, they'll try to put out women or models or people that are not, good looking or need some help or something, like say the overweight ones and things like that. When people want to see something that is in, good shape and stuff. And I'm glad that you pointed that out, because that is another way they demoralize our culture.
Oh, absolutely. And it's weird because they'll say things like, this is more realistic. Well, I mean, anything can be realistic if you, try to achieve it. But then once you put the bar at a certain point, it just, like you said, it kind of demoralizes people, and they don't really strive for, success or greatness. It's just not really a good thing to do overall.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And you put that very well. And another thing about the Canadian thing, that was a good point you had. And I wasn't aware about that, about how they want to euthanize people. I think that's would be the proper term, like you would with a cat or a dog.
Yeah.
And yeah, because basically you'll have this thing where they'll say they want to help everybody with these systems, but really in reality, because they don't want to pay for all these things, because they're really crooked, they're not really authentic, they want to go and just kill off the weak people like the dictators in history did. And that's what they're trying to implement here. And I'm related to Germans, and I studied about the German history, and I think you're absolutely correct that we're falling, not like the West and stuff, and Canada especially, we're falling into the same era that they did back in the 30s.
Absolutely. People that don't learn from the history are doomed to repeat it.
Mm-hmm. Right. And the college campuses and stuff, and the young people, they must have not have been educated about it, and then they're going along with it, and they're going with the Marxist agenda, and also like what those other dictatorships did, and they killed millions of people everywhere, and it's not good, and they definitely need to get educated about it.
Oh, absolutely, and no question.
Right. Also, ABL, that's all I have to say for this call. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Shout out to my main man, Alien Spaceship, for the call. Let's keep on rocking here. 214, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. I just wanted to make a comment about those two dating videos about the oyster date and then the date with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay.
I showed this video to my husband, and we were just both shocked. I'm 35. I'm married, so I'm not really in the dating scene now. But it's just watching those videos, I am absolutely shocked that these women have this entitlement. And this is kind of like gravitated me towards the Fresh and Fit scene. I absolutely love the podcast. I don't have a son, I have a daughter. But I really believe that they're doing God's work as spreading the word for young men, that they need to be careful about these types of women. And I just wanted to know your opinion about, about these two videos that went viral.
Okay.
Of this, and then, Fresh and Fit have their opinion. They call it hoflation, and I'm sorry for using this type of language, but I want to know what you think.
Okay, so I have to explain what's going on to those who have not seen the videos. So there's two videos that have been kind of going viral. One was a young lady in Atlanta, and she agreed to go on a date with a guy that had been kind of questioning and bugging her to go on get some drinks, and she ate everything in there. She had 48 oysters. So they came out in platters of 12. And she had 48 of them, and then
disgusting ABL.
Yeah, it was gross. She was like, and she was filming herself doing this. Like she wanted TikTok content. Her thought process was it was going to be a good thing for TikTok and get a lot of views, but really went the other way. So she's slurping down 48 oysters. Then she had 3 lemon drop mixed drinks, and she had an entree of some crab cakes and potatoes. It was disgusting, and she wasn't even really that big, but it was nasty. And then the guy had left. He went to the bathroom and didn't come back and stuck her with the bill because it's like, hey, I came here to get just some drinks. That was the date request.
Yes.
That was you eating 48 oysters and everything in the restaurant. It was gross. So that was one. And the second one was this guy took a young lady to Cheesecake Factory for their first date. And she refused to get out the car. She's like, oh, this is beneath me. I'm not getting out the car, all this, that, and the third. But really, and then she did the same thing. She was recording him as she is refusing to get out the car. But see, he got in the car, was like, okay, you want to talk? Let's talk. What he revealed was that he had a different reservation for a nicer restaurant. And by the way, this is both in Atlanta. Yes. It's both ATL. Different restaurant, but he got to her house at the time. He said he was going to be there at 4:00, and she was an hour late coming downstairs. So by the time they're leaving, that was the time of the reservation. So if he gave her plenty of a buffer. He got there for a 5:00 reservation, and she was still late. So rather than going to that nice place, they had to go to Cheesecake Factory, which is still nice. I mean, look, see, people like that, they were both. I
agree.
They were both trying to get attention. That's what that was. That's why they were recording it, putting it on TikTok. The first lady was trying to do content, and she doesn't understand that what she was doing was pretty gross until she revealed it to the whole world. Okay, that was one thing, and the guy was right to bounce on the check. Personally, I wouldn't have gone anywhere with her because the way she was talking automatically was a turn off. Really hood. I just can't do nothing with it. So that was the first thing. The second thing was the young lady at the Cheesecake Factory. It's like, look, I mean, what are we even doing? Cheesecake Factory is a nice restaurant. It's, this is my first date. I don't even know you, so people just, it's an entitlement. It's the intention. They hear things like Shira 7, Sprinkle, Sprinkle. They hear her on the internet and they try to do that kind of stuff in real life, but real life is not what you see on social media. So they were just caught up in trying to get attention, caught up in trying to make themselves be different than what they are.
Inflate their ego.
Very much inflated their ego.
And I think the Cheesecake Factory, if a guy is taking you to the Cheesecake Factory and he's not taking you to a bar, that's actually a good sign. Because like this guy, I'm trying to look back in my dating experience before I was married. If a guy is just trying to just take you to a bar, I feel like he has ill intent. But if he's actually taking you to a restaurant and have a dinner with you, then he has good intentions that he wants to get to know you.
Exactly.
It was mind blowing to me how these women are. When I was dating, I never treated men like this. I always, if a guy took me on a date, thank you. I really appreciate that you're spending your money on me. I never acted like that. But these women that are just so entitled, and then also spending their time on their phone on the date is also another thing that's mind-blowing to me. I think it's very rude.
Very, very
It's
rude.
very disgusting behavior.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If I'm on a date with somebody, I'm not using my phone. I'm keeping my phone in my pocket. And I'm talking to the person. That's the whole point of the date, to get to know somebody, not to get TikTok content, not to try and embarrass me. Let's have a conversation and talk. It doesn't really matter where we go. You know, it's a restaurant. We're not going to Wendy's. It's Cheesecake Factory. It's a first date. Let's just talk and get to know each other. That's a perfectly fine spot. But she was more concerned with what she saw on social media and trying to get some attention for herself. So I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I have a daughter, and you know, when she gets to that dating age, I'm definitely going to teach her not to be disrespectful and just use people. I think that should just be like common decency 101. You don't use people. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on this issue because, you know, my husband and I were talking about it, and we were just shocked. And I asked him, I said, hey, what would you do in that situation? He says that he would walk away. But I'm like, if you really like this girl, I don't think you would just walk away or not pay. But I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted to know your opinion on this. I love your show, by the way. I watch every Sunday. It's Sunday here. But, yeah. So, yeah, I'll let you go. Thank you. I just want to know your opinion.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. I wanted to add one last thing. And that's a great question, caller. That's why I want to do a different channel, because I want to talk about these kind of things. One thing about the Cheesecake Factory lady, she was an hour late. Listen, I'll give you a half-hour grace period. Half hour. If you don't make it, I'll see you some other time. I'm like, look, and I wouldn't be rude about it. I'd be like, hey, you know what? We had plans for this time, and I got to do something after this. So maybe we can do something else at a different time. But yeah, I'm leaving after the half hour. 1 hour, you're making me wait, and I stay. And when we get to destination, you got a problem and you want to record me? He was right. Oh, and then, by the way, I didn't tell you how the date ended if you didn't see the video. So after she says, I'm not getting out the car. I refuse to get out the car. I'm not going to Cheesecake Factory. After that, he said, okay, look, if you don't want to go on this date, I'll take you home. And he drove her back to her house. And good on him. Good on him. You're not going to be bullying me, take me somewhere. Man, please. A lot of guys don't even want to go on dates. They don't even want to go on dates. They want to go just to the bar. They might want to go to coffee, a restaurant, sitting down, talking to you for the first date. It's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Yeah, exactly, Joker. She did not respect him or his time. Sure didn't. And to talk about something else, I mean, she did not have the kind of appearance to be so demanding. And even if she did, it's still not right. But I digress. 909, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, my name is Frederick. How you doing? How you doing, ABL?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Good. Okay. Let me just say this. Okay. Donald Trump is going to win the primary in 2024. And we need to know this as patriots, because I've seen this just like you've seen this back in 2016. We are going against our own party. Okay, because we know it's a uniparty. Do you feel me on this, ABL?
I'm trying to follow you. I'm not really sure if there's a question there.
Oh. Here's the question. Do you believe that Donald Trump will win the primary in 2024?
I think so, because I don't see anybody that's anywhere close to him. I mean, the polls are the polls, and, you know, these people that are running behind him, they're not anywhere close to where he is. So I don't see how anybody else wins. I don't really. I don't see it.
Right. And we're going to win as Republicans because there's back in the early 2000s, when Roger Stone, who has a documentary of this, documentary. I'm so sorry. They wanted Trump to win in 2000. Okay, and Trump decided not to run in 2000, and he himself, he was not when it came to reform of the Republican Party, which is a uniparty right now. He did not want to go to the reform of the party in the early 2000s. And now, from your video, Oprah Winfrey is trying to was trying to run. That's the same exact woman that was asking Donald Trump to run in 1988. Isn't that wonderful?
Hey, that's how it works sometimes, I suppose.
That's really ridiculous. And that's really ridiculous. It's Trump 24. We're sick of this stuff. I'm from Compton, California. ABL, you're wonderful, man. I'm glad that you had 1 million. I've been watching you forever, dude. ABL,
I'm listening to you, boss. I'm here.
I'm glad that you're at 1 million.
All right, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
I definitely appreciate you, man. And God bless you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
God bless you. God bless followers. Yes, sir.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to the caller. And shout out to you guys watching. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I'm going to show you guys the Cheesecake Factory lady right quick, just so you can kind of get an idea of what happened. Oh, and for you guys to say you don't like oysters, I like oysters, but not 48 of them. When I was in Virginia, I had I went to this restaurant downtown Norfolk called Saltine. I think that's what it's called, Saltine. And they serve oysters in orders of 3. I had 3. And they were good. It's something that you're not going to eat a whole big plate of. To eat 48 oysters is like, eating 48 oysters is the equivalent of eating 10 cans of cranberry sauce at Thanksgiving. It's supposed to complement your meal, not be a meal by itself. It was gross. But anyway, I had 3 oysters and I had an entree, 1 crab cake, and it was a side. I forget, it might have been vegetables on the side. It was a light meal. First of all, when you go on a date, you're not supposed to be pigging out like that. That's really gross. You just, Cookie Monster in the date. That's not really great. That's not really good. So here's the person, and then I'm gonna get right back to the calls.
Need to find some parking.
So that's her. All in the camera, recording herself. She's big, like 6'1". She's like probably bigger than me. I'm taller than her. I'm 6'3", but she's probably bigger than me. And I'm 215 right now. I'm like not a small person. So a woman like that, that's a big lady.
Oh my God. Yeah. So yes, let's talk. You're recording?
So that's the guy right there, Indian guy from India. Shout out to the Indian subcontinent.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. What's the problem with that? This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant? You want to talk about it?
My man, hey, he's like, you want to talk about it? Okay, let's talk about it. You want to record me? You put me on blast? Okay, let's talk about it. You were an hour late. We had reservations. Now we at Cheesecake Factory. This is our first date. What are we talking about? But I digress. So you guys are able to get a visual of who we talking about. This big, tall black woman and dude from the Indian subcontinent. Dude was real brave, not even as tall as her, approached her at a bar or something in Atlanta in Midtown and just talked to her, got her number. They set a date up. She was an hour late. Cheesecake Factory, second option. Show him when they get out and starts to record them. Disrespectful. You were an hour late and then you record me? Man, please. Man, please. Let's keep on going. The number to call you guys on the rest 434-658-1220. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Yeah, the delusion is real. The delusion is super real. I would never. That ain't my type. I like, you know what I mean, a little bit Victoria's Secret. I want you to be 100 pounds and 6 foot tall. I'm playing, but I'm not playing. Anyway, let's keep on rocking. 929, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Yes, about between Palestine, between the Palestine and the Kanye West people. I would say that I do understand why the conservative, why some conservative against the Palestine, because in the rally, the communist socialists, they are like back the movement rallies. Also, they do raise the communist flags. So with the reasonable to hate them, you know. But I want to tell everybody about this. I mean, you have to know that the Kanye West people, they control both sides. So you have to know the right wing Kanye West people, right? They conquer the Middle East, and also they commit a genocide against the Arab. And after that, they kick out the Arab. Then it is the left-wing Kanye West people turn. So what the left-wing Kanye West people do is they will shift those Arab, so-called like refugee, right, to the white country. And yes, and their purpose is they are the anti-white. Yes, they shift those. Do you know the Kanye West people are non-organization migration? They lie. They ship non-white people to the white country to replace them. So you have to know this. They control the both sides. And why it still happen? Well, and why it still happen? Why are they do this? They do this because they follow the Talmud, the holy book of the Kanye West people religion, the Talmud, which is the Babylonian Talmud.
Okay.
You do understand what I am saying, right?
Kind of, yeah.
All right. Now, so why is this happening? So I can say to you like way back to the Second World. I mean I will make so myself to say carefully. Do you know the general Joe Patton? The general who wear the helmet that have the three star on his helmet, right? he tell like after the war, he trying to tell the American that America have fought against the wrong enemy.
So who was the general
Also,
speaking? So who was this general?
Yes, the general name is Joe Patton.
Joe Patton. Okay.
Do you know him?
I know the name, but I don't really know a lot about Joe Patton. So what did Joe Patton say?
He said that we fought the wrong enemy.
So so Joe Patton said we fought the wrong enemy.
Yes, and after he said that, the Kanye West people they assassinate him, just like what they did to the president JFK.
So you say the Kanye West people. So you say the Kanye West people assassinated Joe Patton and JFK.
Yes, just like they did to President JFK.
Okay.
Oh yes, John F. And the reason why they assassinate John F. Kennedy because he refused to make our country bend the knee to the Kanye West people, so that they assassinate him. And we see why the Kanye West people they able to steal the American nuclear bomb blueprint.
So they stole the American nuclear blueprint. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
They stole the American nuclear blueprint, and then they create a secret operation to create their own nuclear bomb. But it is secret. It is secret, and they don't want the world to know about it.
Right on, man. Well, I thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yes, with the command. Let go, Brandon, and the salt must flow.
All righty. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for your call. All right. I tried my best at being able to transcribe what was happening. So shout out to my man, my homie for calling in. Hopefully you guys were able to catch a lot of what he was dropping down. All righty. the number, you guys in the comments are crazy. The comment section is always crazy. Like when I'm hearing the calls, sometimes I have to not look. When I'm doing my talking at the beginning and I glance at the comment section, it throws me off a lot because you guys say something and it just, I want to just bust out laughing, but I can't because I got to be able to stay focused on what I'm doing. You guys are hilarious. But the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. All right. Nah, you guys, you guys are hilarious. Nah, because somebody said, she bangs. Man, listen, if I would have saw that at the time, right when, like, I'm in the conversation, I'd have been toast. I wouldn't have heard. I would have just lost all my concentration. Y'all saw me. I like to be able to hear the callers and be able to comment. But some of those comments, man, they get me all the way off my square. All the way off my square. Man, hilarious. She bangs is crazy. Oh my goodness. Why would you even say that? Where would you get that from? Oh my goodness. But yeah, you guys are wild. And I forgot. You're also listening to a podcast right now. So this will be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description. 412, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, I didn't think I was going to get through. This is APC. How you doing, ABL?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
I was sitting there thinking because I heard somebody talking about in California they're about to pass a law where they can lock people up under anybody's like recommendation of them being mentally ill. And then you know how they was talking about they want to lock up people or whatever for who they voting for and shit. Oh, my bad for cussing. But I'm like wondering if that has anything to do with it. They can like declare somebody mentally ill or whatever due to their political affiliation or whatever. You think that might be a possibility in the future?
That's definitely a thing that's possible. You know, they could say, okay, well, they're already trying to classify conservative people that voted for Donald Trump. They're trying to say MAGA Republicans, MAGA extremists. They're already trying to other people that fit into that category.
Yeah, they got to label it as like CDS or something, right?
Yeah, so
they already got like a whole actual diagnosis for it. Like that's crazy.
Right, exactly. That's the issue. So it wouldn't be a stretch for them to go and say, okay, you guys are mentally disorder, have mental disorder, and we're gonna put you on the list. So that wouldn't be a far stretch.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up. And one other thing, if you're listening, Cheesecake Factory girl, I'll take you to McDonald's, but you ain't getting out the car the whole day. Have a good night, Andy.
Thanks for the call. All right, shout out to a caller. 773 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call. ABL, in that story you were talking about where the guy jumps over the counter and then as he's leaving, the clerk shoots the guy as he's leaving and kills him, even though he didn't intend to kill him. The problem with that, ABL, is you can only use deadly force when you're physically threatened and your life is in physical danger. Unfortunately, I sympathize with the store owner because the guy put him in that position. Hey, I'm just here trying to open up a business and do my work, and then you come in here, try to rob me or jump over the counter or do what you're going to do. But once he starts to run away and leaves, ABL, he is no longer a deadly force to you, unless maybe he has a handgun, because you could still shoot somebody in the back because you're able to kind of spin around and maybe shoot you and kill you. But it's very hard to explain to a court that he was a deadly force to you when he was running out the door. It becomes a property crime then, and you can't use deadly force against a property crime and you're in trouble. That's the problem with, unbridled crime. When crime is unbridled like that, if somebody tries to carjack you and they got a gun on you, you're able to shoot them. Even as they get in the car maybe and they still have the gun, you're able to shoot them. But once they're driving away, if you start taking pot shots at your car and take a shot at him and connect, luckily, and kill the guy or hurt the guy, you're in trouble. Unfortunately, that store owner, he probably won't go to jail, ABL, but what will happen is he's going to have years of lawsuits, lawyers, expenses, let alone the worry and everything else that is put upon you because of that stress. It's best to let them go. Yes, defend yourself. Defend yourself when it's happening. But, who gives a damn if somebody takes your car as long as you're safe? So I personally would let that go. You can't just be, shooting at people. And then what you saw in the video, ABL, with those prisoners here in Cook County in Chicago at the Cook County Jail, and the difference between prison and a jail is when you go to jail, they're holding you for your trial, and they can hold you in a jail for up to a year, 365 days. They can hold you in a jail without putting you in prison while you're waiting for your trial. But some people have been locked up in Cook County Jail for 3 years because they keep continuing their trial, so they stay there. It's before they go to prison. But we've had stories here in Chicago where they give Friday pizza parties at the jail. And people are saying that's what you're doing with our tax money and everything else at the county jail is you're throwing pizza parties. here's what their argument is, and this may be the argument behind those guys with the big screen and playing Game Boy or whatever they're playing Madden football, is that they're much more manageable under the circumstances when you pacify them with TV and pizza and everything else, because there's not enough guards to control the prisoner population. Well, whose fault is that? I'm not sure, but the jails are very short of personnel. So, I mean, that's what I hate when people say, oh, let him rot in prison. He's not rotting in prison. You and I would rot in prison because we don't want the prison life. We're not criminals. But other people, it's just another way of life. You see your cousin in there. You see your friends from the street in there. And, you know, it's another way of life. You're living your life inside the joint. And you know, what about my loved one who is now dead or maimed or hurt? You know, where's the justice in that? So anyway, ABL, that's my 2 cents on that this week, and I'll talk to you and everybody else later. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right. Always a great call from my retired Chicago police officer friend. And I think that will be a wrap for me tonight. So thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you couldn't get on tonight, it's not my fault. Blame the white man. You know what? I have nothing to do with it. I take no accountability for you not being able to get on. But I'll be back live again on Wednesday, of course. Same bat time, same bat channel, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, as I said earlier, this is a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And thank y'all again for being here. Could not do the show without you. Thank y'all for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I thank you 100%. All righty. And did I get everybody with the super chats? I think that I did. We got a couple here. Thank you to Patch Duress, who says callers got to lay off the sauce before calling ABL on Saturday night. Unlike my man just now. And dang, that woman is ratchet with the vomit emoji. Well, shout out to you. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Trans Orangutan. That's a name for you right there, ain't it? Who says it's the horrible women in regular life and in government who get the attention, leading people to think that most women are crazy, incompetent, etc. That's a very good point you make there, because the bad cases, those rise to the top. Those get a lot of attention. Those get the constant, you know, back-to-back showing, and they kind of go viral and everything else. So it's a really good point you make there. All right, but that will be a wrap for me tonight. I will see you guys again on Wednesday live, but I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded content. Y'all follow me on the Twitters, follow me on Instagram, follow me on the Facebooks, go to my website, anthonyblogan.com, and of course, the merch website, ablmerch.com. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.